Retcon Return of Jedi. Oh gosh,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I didn't think of that. That's basically what they're doing.
Hey, everybody.
Oh my goodness,
Welcome.
Sir Jay, you're right. I'm so upset now. Before the show even started, it's my favorite Star Wars movie, and if they retcon it, I'm gonna be so upset. I just thought of that.
Isn't Return of the Jedi the middle one?
No, it's the sixth one.
Yeah.
It's the one where Palpatine dies, but
my
apparently
favorite
he's
one.
not dead because of the laugh at the end of the stupid trial.
I'm just done.
If they ruin Palpatine and they ruin Lando because Lando's back, I'm gonna be so upset.
I like how this whole series has started to like pay back to the fans who love the original series, and now they're just destroying the original series. They're doing more damage than the prequels ever could have hoped to.
Oh yeah. Well, like looking at the prequels comparatively,
I like.
they're
prequels
so
more.
much more better
I
than
think-
the movies that are coming out now.
Hey,
I'm heavily biased
Phantom
towards
Menace wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. I'm heavily biased towards
Yeah.
that movie because I grew
I
up
like-
watching that.
Okay,
I won't lie. I liked episode 2.
we're live. Okay,
Oh, hey,
you're
we're
listening to
live.
Doghouse. We're about to go live on the radio. Sorry that you had to listen to that. We're about to go live on the radio in like 30 seconds. You're listening to the Doghouse.
That's
So,
right.
We're just ranting about a comment that we saw. So
The comments on our
about
live
the
chat
death
on
about-
YouTube.
of Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah, we're about to be live on radio.
All right.
Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to the Doghouse with your hosts, Husky, Dingo, and Updog.
Hey, what's up, video game fellow people,
That was one way to
Gents.
say it.
gents and gentettes? We got a pretty good
Gentettes.
show.
We got
Yeah.
a pretty sure good show lined up today. I think
Okay.
we got a lot of
Yeah.
stuff to cover. Today's more going to be news.
It's
stuff.
gonna be very newsy.
Woo, man. there's a
None
lot
of the
stuff.
news. It's none of my news. I don't care about any of this
It's
news.
mostly announcements.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some
They're like,
discussion
hey,
stuff we can have though.
This
So
stuff
I mean, we're
is
gonna
going to
do it.
come out. You look forward to it.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, can we learn anything about it?
Can you show
No.
it to me?
Hey, you wanna know
No.
something that's coming out that we still don't know much about? Joker.
You think you're funny, but you're not.
I know. I hate it too. Is the problem? It's not only against you; it's against us all. Oh man,
I have no mouth and I must scream.
I must scream.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Imagine that feeling times like 3, because I'm also waiting for Persona news on the Switch and Luigi's Mansion news and Animal Crossing news.
I'm just waiting for Sora to get announced for Smash.
You'll be waiting a while, won't you?
Yeah, I will. If I'm not though, I'll laugh. Like I'll be so happy if that actually happens. I'm gonna bust in this college. Like what?
It's not
It's gonna be crazy. It won't probably, but it's
Okay, so let's just before we jump into our usual stuff, let's jump into the news or the weather and the Bible and the verse for the day. So today we have fair weather. It's a little partly cloudy, I think. 61 degrees. Let me refresh this.
It's about 60s. That's right.
64 degrees Fahrenheit outside, 18 degrees Celsius. Actually, pretty nice outside. There's a nice chill wind.
It's like
It's
like
really
my-
nice.
Yeah.
it's like a good day for hiking. I feel like
That's
Yeah.
true.
it's clear
You
and
guys
like
want to go hike after this?
sunny.
I mean, I can't.
Yeah, I'll
Sorry,
do it.
bro.
Where are we going?
I would, but
We're gonna hike
We're
down
gonna go
to
to
the-
Pinnacle.
oh, dude, I like Petty Jean better.
We're gonna
actually.
hike. We're gonna hike
I
up
can
to
both.
Mount Magazine.
Jean's really good.
Pinnacle's the first one that I actually climbed. I
Oh,
actually
really?
climbed that mountain
Nice,
Nice.
nice.
very slowly, but I did it.
Yeah.
Humidity is 28%. Gotta pump those numbers down. I hate humidity, but it's not that bad because we got a nice chill wind today. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
got a northern wind of 3 miles per hour.
Nice.
It's pretty fair day today.
Yeah, it's pretty fair.
It's okay.
I'm okay with this
Pretty good.
I
weather.
like it.
It's
I
actually
wish-
really not bad.
I wish there was like less pollen, but
Of course.
apparently it's gonna rain tomorrow.
We don't get,
Yeah.
of course, we don't get to feel this nice weather inside the studio, which has
Walls.
no airflow.
I'm trapped in here with the likes of you.
Mm-hmm.
Disdain is mutual.
Nothing but my
that
anger.
gum.
My anger to keep me warm. Liquid rage.
Warm. It's plenty warm in here.
Yeah, it actually
It is actually pretty warm.
I just started wearing like
It's not bad. but
like
it's warm.
I started wearing like sweat-proof T-shirts on the show just because it gets hot in here.
Oh Lord! All right, verse of the day is Luke 9, verses 23 through 24. About take up your cross and follow Jesus. And he said to all, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will save it."
Mm.
It's a good verse, man.
It's kind of a reminder that following Christ is a daily commitment. Like it's not a decision you can just make once.
And that it can be dangerous.
Yeah.
But at the end, whoever will save his own life will lose it, but whoever loses his life will save it.
Mm.
And it's kind of an interesting contrast there of you've got the guy that only cares about himself, and in the end, that's not going to do anything for him.
Surely the rigors of following Christ are more rewarding than the wide path that
Yeah.
the world would have you take. So,
Yeah, that's very true.
that's a good verse. I like it.
Yeah, man. It's a classic, in all honesty. That's one that a lot of people talk about. So
All right, kids,
let's start.
we're jumping into the show now.
Whoa!
Talk about video games.
Whoa!
Video game news.
I like those things.
I love video games.
We need to have music for the top of the hour segment.
Top of the hour.
Okay.
It's good music.
That
I like
was
where you're
good.
going. A little too much. Pull back. I'm just joking.
I like what you're doing, kid. Just little advice: don't do that.
Don't.
You're pretty good, kid. What's your name? All right.
Oh, no.
Logan, why don't you start us off with your top of the hour?
Whoa, me?
Yeah.
You.
Okay. Who's Logan though? I never heard of this Logan.
Oh,
Up dog. I'm sorry.
I am.
He
Senior
mistook you for a
Updog,
friend of ours.
Updog Sama.
Captain Updog, MD. Anyway,
Indeed.
He's not only the captain, he's educated too.
Good
okay.
job.
So this happened a few days ago. The country of Nepal, which is it's the Federation of Nepal in South Asia, I believe. It's the continent of Asia, definitely. They have banned the game PUBG. A lot of countries have banned or put restrictions on this game because of the loot box problems. Like different governments claim that this kind of constitutes as gambling. But
Yeah.
in Nepal's case, they have banned it because psychiatrists and concerned parents have claimed that the game has negative effects on children, particularly like violent
Yeah.
behavior,
It's making them not play good video games.
like Mario 64 or Crash Bandicoot.
Ooh, wow.
Mm.
Two excellent games that will cause you to become violent, definitely, towards bad games like Sonic, any Sonic game.
And Bubsy 3D.
Mm.
I'm upset with you guys. I'm not talking to you right
That's why I said it. I don't want you to talk.
now. That's why I said it. He says, daggum.
Trying to rile you up, but you just get more depressed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
Aren't dingoes supposed to be ravenous?
I mean, I was during the last dog fight.
a
You remember
ding-
that?
Yeah.
A dingo stole my dog.
I got
fight.
upset.
Yeah.
I was very upset.
Well, that's interesting. I know that they've tried to push through similar bans here in the United States to no avail because they found out that there's absolutely no correlation. It just turns out that maybe instead of leaving your kid in front of a GTA 5 for 10 hours a day, maybe you should actually parent them, and then they won't be violent.
Crazy.
Antisocial.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Parents need to beat their freaking
I
kids.
think
joking.
another thing that may come with that, because there's actually a similar story for a game I've played. I played DFFOO, which is a game on phone. And the thing about it is you
Seems like-
spend real life currency, and that's the point where it gets into
Yeah,
somewhat of a
that's
gambling
actually
issue.
gambling, so I
Exactly.
can understand why they'd want to limit
And
that.
so I think that's what most countries are
Mhm.
saying. It may be the violence thing as well.
Yeah.
no,
But
this
I
Nepal,
think-
in Nepal's case, it's specifically the
Yeah.
The violence. Yeah,
the
okay.
psychological issues.
I was about to say, because I think it was the UK or something. They banned a game because
Yeah.
people were spending
It
so
was
much money
Star
on
Wars
it.
Battlefront.
Yeah.
got banned.
They ended up spending so much money on it. People got addicted to buying those loot boxes.
I think a couple states here in America, actually, in North America, actually banned
Probably.
it.
Yeah.
But like, I think it would be cool if we could have a show where you don't talk about a mobile game that you're playing. That is causing violent behavior in me right now.
Do you not
That's
like
real.
mobile games?
We should ban your mobile game discussion.
Why? Why do you not like mobile
No,
games?
mobile games are fine.
I was like, I like mobile games.
I'm just saying, I agree that probably the loot box thing needs to be handled because that is actually gambling.
Yeah.
It literally.
And gamers are already marginalized. They're the most marginalized and discriminated against people on the earth. So
we
need
are.
some
It's weird because
representation.
we're the salt of the earth. We're just everyday Joes.
we're the backbone of this nation.
It is. It's weird, like, because
Yeah.
Gamers rise up.
Gamers.
it's weird.
Gamers rise.
Like a few years ago, I feel like you could have made an argument that like maybe Grand Theft Auto causes people to be violent, but like most of
Yeah.
the time, like gaming, especially like in modern times, is like a very social experience.
Yeah.
Especially games like PUBG where you talk to people and
Yeah.
like literally work with people.
yeah,
I hate battle royale games.
I do too. Only good one's Tetris 99.
So
I
think-
like some.
I think
of
we
them.
disagree with the reasoning,
It depends. Like
Yeah.
but yeah.
I think
Did
who's
PUBG
playing is like a
have-
big factor.
Did
That's
PUBG
true.
did it have loot boxes? I thought it was just like you drop in and like you have to.
I don't
find
know. I
some-
haven't played PUBG.
Neither have
I
I.
think it may. I've not played that.
Whatever.
That's actually the one battle royale game I've not played.
I would assume
You
'Cause I
played
played-
Apex?
I actually no, I haven't. Is that a battle royale?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Should come over and
Apex.
play it sometime.
Apex
I've
might
heard
be
it's
coming
pretty
to the
good.
Switch. There's,
What?
there's a thing like people think Apex might be coming to the Switch.
That'd be
I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't be on
Every
the Switch
game
already.
should be on the Switch.
I've got to get
Except PUBG.
PlayStation Gold sometime soon, and whenever I do, I'll probably just play Apex Online with you guys if that's cool.
Okay, that sounds good. I don't think he has PS4.
Oh, I need a headset too. Actually,
If I
I
had
didn't
a-
think of that.
If I had a PS4, I wouldn't be here. I'd be playing Persona 5 right now.
I'd be playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
Animal Crossing New Leaf's actually really fun.
Okay. Anyways, back to the top of the hour stuff.
Came out in like 2016 and
Your
people are
top of the
still
hour.
playing it.
Okay, I didn't know if he had another one. Okay, so I've got two
I don't
top of
think
the
he
hours
did.
today. I'm gonna go ahead and do this first one. The Nintendo Labo VR kit is out. There's two of them. One of them is $80, and it comes with the bazooka, the camera, that's like a viewfinder looking thing, the elephant, and the bird. And they each have little mini games that come with it. And also, there's like a bunch of extra, like random mini games that are just for the VR. And I've watched a few reviews on it just to kind of see how it looks. And apparently, this is like the best thing Labo's ever done. And it's also the cheapest thing Labo's ever done. And so a lot of people are actually reporting this is like actually really fun. And so that's cool that Labo's actually getting some kind of use. That's nice.
Sounds dumb.
I'm a little
Oh,
disappointed.
that's the $80 one. I'm sorry. There's another one that's $40, and it just comes with the bazooka. You build the bazooka and you build the VR thing, and then you basically play like an alien invasion game. I've heard that's the best one. So if you want just the best one, pay $40. It's really not that bad.
I've just kept seeing memes about it, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that like they
This
aren't
is probably
calling it
the
the
best.
Virtual Boy.
Well, they
That makes
actually
me
have a
sad.
video that is the Virtual Boy. They have a little video thing that you watch, and you literally go into a Virtual Boy in the video. Like it's very interesting. It's kind of cool though.
Interesting.
Anyways,
the best thing to
so-
come out of Labo is the memes. So
That's true. There's some pretty good Labo memes.
everything else is just
So the next top of
forget-
the hour I have is
Labo
about
is-
Disney Plus.
Whoa!
Apparently, Disney Plus is coming to consoles.
Why don't
or-
you explain to us what Disney Plus is first?
Okay. Disney Plus is a streaming service, basically kind of like Netflix, except it's only Disney stuff. Which, since Disney owns a lot of entertainment stuff now, including Fox and Star Wars and Marvel, there's a lot of stuff coming to it. Anyways, so it's streaming service. Like I said, it wants a home on gaming consoles, including the Switch. Apparently, it's definitely coming to consoles. Is kind of what I've been hearing, and a lot of people have been kind of saying that's been confirmed. But as for the Switch, they've kind of teased that that's going to be a thing. And so, yeah, that's going to be really big. I think a lot of people already love Disney in general. And so, since they're probably going to have the subscription service, the fact that it's going to be on the Switch and other consoles is pretty good. I'm
wonder-
excited.
I wonder if this means that there won't be a Netflix on the Switch.
I really hope not, because Netflix has a lot of other things besides Disney. But I mean, I guess it's possible.
They have a lot of stuff other than Disney.
That's
you're
basically what it is.
you're only in
Yeah.
it for the Disney.
I mean, I love Disney. I can't lie.
I
And
wanna
also,
watch-
that means I can get on my Switch and watch Treasure Planet. the
I
best
really
Disney
want to
movie.
watch Boondock Saints on my Nintendo Switch.
Boondock Saints.
It's a good it's a good movie. But I don't know. I would just like I only have a Switch, and I would like to be able to have my Netflix account just
Yeah.
on my TV. But I guess like I'm not going to pay anything for the Disney service.
Yeah. I understand that.
I guess this means they're probably going to take a lot of the Disney stuff off of Netflix. Then, like you're probably
Yeah.
not going to have any more Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing is that a lot of the Marvel stuff is definitely moving.
Mm.
I mean, you also have to remember the Marvel shows, that the new ones anyways, they're going to be only on Disney Plus. So I think that's Loki, it's Scarlet Witch, Vision,
There's a
Winter
Loki.
Soldier, Falcon. I think those are the only 5. There may be a 6th one. I can't remember. But
Interesting.
yeah, they're
Interesting.
all getting their own like 6 to 8 episode miniseries type thing. My fiance is extremely excited about Winter Soldier and Loki though. So
I'd watch Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I will too.
Interesting.
But yeah, so that's my
Yes.
top of the hour stuff. My man Husky, what is the next top of the hour?
It's Husky time.
It's Husky time.
Boy. Okay, so my top of the hour, Octopath Traveler is coming to the PC. That's one. That's interesting.
Oh boy,
I never expected like a Switch only
Oh.
title to start coming to PC.
it is weird. Usually stuff like comes from other consoles to the Switch.
Yeah.
But this time it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I wonder why they did it that way.
I don't know.
It's very curious, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, it's Square Enix. They can do whatever they want.
That's fair. Yeah.
My next one is that on PS4 and yeah,
PS.
you can start
Follower.
to change. You can officially change your PSN ID, which is something that Xbox has had since its beginning. Now you can do this with PlayStation Network.
Been about time. I'll be real.
Sort of.
It's 2019.
Some games don't support it.
Don't support what? Wait, don't
the
support.
the PSN ID changed. Like
my
there's some
gosh.
games that were like made like towards the beginning. They're still oriented towards the old system,
Yeah.
so it's like hard for them to work it around.
Why is that a thing? Why was that such a
I
big
think it's because
deal?
it was like tied to like your actual credentials on your account. So it's weird.
That is weird.
Anyway, is that it? That's all you got?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, there are a few. They have a list of the games that you can look at on PlayStation. No, on the PlayStation.com if you want to change your ID. So it works with most games that were made recently. So yeah,
That's good.
Warframe might have problems, but they also have ways to troubleshoot it. So yeah, just look at that site, get more information. It's weird. It's exciting. You can finally ditch that lame username that you threw together in high school.
Bizus.
Oh, is that what yours is?
No, I don't have. I'm not on PlayStation.
I was like, daggum, I'm sorry for you,
Mine
bro.
was Sage014. I'm changing that immediately.
Probably a good
I'm
idea.
gonna try to change it to Ghastardly.
Don't want you getting bullied or anything.
I think if anything, he's bullying other people.
That's a fair point, actually. He probably is.
All Disney Marvel stuff will be leaving Disney. Also Star Wars.
No, he said Netflix. He,
will be
he
leaving
corrected himself.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Okay,
I thought
cool.
so. So that kind of stinks, but at the same time, it's understandable since they're making a streaming service specifically for the stuff they own.
Never watched that crap.
Probably
anyways.
won't even be as good as Netflix. But hey, everyone gets their shot.
I mean, it's not hard to be as good as Netflix. Hulu does just a fine job.
Hulu sucks.
I actually like Hulu more, but
I like Verve. I watch Verve because I watch anime.
well, I mean, there's anime on Hulu.
Yeah,
Her-
but there's not none of any that I really enjoy.
If there's a movie that
My
I
Hero.
I
I already
Sword
watched
Art,
My Hero.
I think Naruto's on
I
there.
don't really want to watch Naruto. And
I
Sword
can't
Art
remember if
sucks.
Dragon Ball Super's on there or not.
Dragon Ball Super sucks too.
Oh, see, I actually like those, but okay.
Okay.
Well, Sword Art, the first 13 episodes are good.
No.
It sucks after that, but
What we got for?
yeah, what's our first segment, or do we want to go and take a break real
We're gonna
quick?
take a quick break.
Yeah,
Quick,
take a quick
give you an
break.
ad
Yeah.
and some music. We'll come back. be sure to stay tuned. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of announcements.
Just a lot of news. Lots of news.
There's so much to go over. And then we'll be doing our dogfight at the end of the show. So stay tuned. And don't touch that dial.
1-800-222-1222. 1-800-222-1222. If you think it might be poison, then the first thing you should do is call 1-800-222-1222.
For poison emergencies or just questions, the Poison Control Center hotline is here 24/7 with the expert help you need.
If you think it might be poison and you don't know what to do, call 1-800-222-1222.
It's now or never, and I got to make my decision. This time it could be my moment. Is this a mirage or a chance to fulfill my mission? A river in a dry land, the last days in a lost hand, a heartbeat for 10 man, oasis in a strange land. I'm keeping the balance, but I'm standing on razor's edge now. Move quick and my life is over. One strike to the bank, then I'm out of this field of vision. Don't ask why I'm ready, but I'm ready to strike 'em down now. A chance at a new start, there's no time for indecision. A river in a dry land, the last days in a lost hand. When the hope of new beginnings burned our feet, now we need it, a heartbeat for 10 man, an oasis in a strange land. Remind us what we're here for, creating new life, creating rivers in the desert. I was telling my world of conflict. One goal is what keeps me going. Take back what I lost to the bosses of greed and fear, yeah. Don't ask why I'm ready, but I'm ready to take them down now. The time for a new start is constantly drawing nearer. A river in a dry land, the last days of a lost hand. When the hope of new beginnings burned our feet, now we need it, a heartbeat for 10 man, an oasis in a strange land. Remind us what we're here for, creating new life, creating rivers in the desert. All I need. Gotta clear my head of anger and greed. A place to refresh my mind. Can I find some time in rivers in a dry land? The last days in a lost hand. when the hope of new beginnings burned our feet. Now we needed a heartbeat for Tin Man, an oasis in a strange land. Remind us what we're here for, creating new life, creating rivers in the desert.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to The Doghouse with Husky, Dingo, and Updog.
Hey, what's up? We got a pretty good show going so far. Hoping to get
Yeah.
some news out of the way. Got a lot of announcements.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff,
We have a lot of announcements.
none of which is stuff I'm interested in, but I'll pretend to be interested because that's my job.
Well, I mean, I think there's one thing that you should be interested in.
What's that?
We'll discuss it
We'll
in a
start with
second.
that. Okay, no, that's cool. I thought you had a transition prepped, but no.
Oh, dude, I didn't
You're
actually.
just
I probably
pulling
should
a leg.
have, but
Wow.
it's okay.
How much time
You
was
know
going
what?
under
I'm
that
gonna
song?
look. I'm gonna look.
5 minutes? Couldn't plan it?
No, I'm gonna
That's
look
fine.
at a transition. It's okay. I was trying to fix other things. I'm so sorry. Gosh.
Don't be sorry. Just be
Just
better.
Be better. I knew you
So
were gonna say
Yakuza
that.
Kiwami 2 because it's coming to PC.
Wow.
Yeah, that I will be honest. That's one thing I don't care about.
That's amazing. That's
I
so
don't.
cool.
I mean, that's a series, and it's
Yeah.
getting a game
I'm
on
just
computer.
going over announcements. Man,
Yeah,
there's so much stuff that was just announced.
that's
last
the
week.
problem with
But
this
it was
week.
like it was like little nitpick stuff that was like, yeah,
that's something we
kinda
can talk
cool.
about after the
Like,
announcements.
there's a lot of old games that are just
Just getting ports, and they're getting
Yeah.
moved.
let's
It's
see.
true.
Another one is Phoenix Wright. It's releasing for literally every
Let's see, hold
platform
on.
Those
Which is
are-
crazy
except
cool.
for Ouya. It's not releasing for Ouya.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Phoenix Wright is really good. Like the first time you play it. After that, you're just kind of.
It's a trilogy.
Yeah.
The original trilogy is releasing.
They're all really good.
Yeah.
Definitely should pick them up if you guys get the chance.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, if you're in for pseudo not trials, or nothing like actual trials.
The gameplay is not super good or anything special, but the characters and like the dialogue is what really sells the
It's a
game.
glorified visual novel.
I mean, yeah, it is, but it's a really good visual novel. It's a pretty good visual novel.
Okay, I believe you. I believe you.
Oh, okay.
You don't
Sorry.
believe me.
I'm just trying I'm trying to find new updated things too that we can say are coming out soon, things like that.
There's like
so-
just a pile of indie games
Yeah, I know.
coming to the Switch.
Well, I was actually on the Nintendo YouTube channel page, and
What'd
I'm
you
just
find?
looking down. I'm scrolling down this list of just games that have been announced this week that are coming to Switch, and it's kind of insane.
Yeah,
So
Katana Zero looks really good.
yeah,
Why don't you tell us about that?
It looks like a side-scrolling, like story-driven action platformer with like a lot of really quick combat. But one of the big things about it looks to be like whenever stuff comes into the range of your sword, time can slow down. So you can,
I've seen that. Yeah,
yeah, you can like
yeah.
cut bullets or like make precise attacks to like break enemy weapons. It looks really fun.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, there's a guy in like a slouch suit in the beginning who's like, your mission is this, and I'm like, okay, kind of got a neo noir feel to it, so I'm interested in
Cool.
that.
This should be pretty neat.
Yeah. Also, just to add something to the announcements, you can pre-order now for Final Fantasy X-10-2 HD Remastered on Switch because it comes out April 16th.
So many things going on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
Switch.
And that's like I know that some people argue it's the best Final Fantasy, but it was my first one, and it's one of my favorites. I love that game. It's really good.
I have a friend who,
Yeah.
who
I have it on
swears
PC
that-
already.
I have a friend who swears the best Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy X.
It's a good game, and I'm not hating it. I like 9 more.
I don't
And
know.
I feel like we've had
I
this
feel
discussion.
like Final Fantasy, the games are like they aren't like. I mean, there's some where like they're
There's
actually
some
not
differences,
as good.
but
They're
yeah.
like I think which one was the ones with lightning?
Oh, 13? Oh gosh. Yeah.
Those ones are people say that they're bad, but like I feel like almost there's like a
Well, especially the story. I've never heard like.
yeah.
Well,
There's,
actually,
like,
no. Okay, so 13 was good gameplay wise, bad story. Well, actually, no. Maybe it's the other way around.
I feel like there was like 4 or 5 that were like
Mm.
really that it's really hard to distinguish which one is actually the better of them all because they're,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're all
Well,
like 7, 6,
have-
10.
Well, no, like
Those
okay.
are 3 that are really good.
Well, like a
So
lot of them are
6, 5. I'm trying to remember 4. Yeah, 4, 3, 2, and 1 are all similar. 2 and 1 aren't very good. At least most people don't like them that much.
I actually like those ones.
3 is one that a lot of people talk about. 4 is something that a lot of people talk about. 5 is one that wasn't released for Western audiences until it came to the PC,
Is it good?
and a lot of people loved that one.
Okay.
And then also 6, which, like you mentioned, is
Kafka.
Kafka and
Suicide
Terra and all
Clown
them.
Man.
That one's really good. And then whenever it comes to the 3D
Omnicidal.
ones, 7, 9, and 10 are the big ones. 8 is very hit or miss. I'm not the biggest fan of
So you
8,
never
but my
miss one.
uncle loves Final Fantasy 8. And so it really is very hit or miss for Squall's game. And then when it comes to
Oh.
11 no longer exists because it changed into, well, it kind of changed into 14. And then 12 is the
Is
one
that
with
the MMO
Vaughn.
one?
11 or 14? Because the answer is yes. They were both.
I was gonna say
They were
like,
both MMOs. But anyways, 12. 12 was where the gameplay shifted a little bit. But I've heard some mainly positive things about 12. In 13, I can't remember how it works, but at the beginning of that trilogy, it's either gameplay is the best and story's really bad, or it's swapped. And apparently, the way that series works is gameplay and story do this in the second game, and they're both kind of meh. And then in the third game, one's really good and one's really bad. So
I played Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on my iPod 5, my iPod Touch 5
oh really?
back in the day.
You
I
played the
thought-
original 1 and 2.
Yeah, they were both good. I like the second one better.
Yeah, as I would say, I'm not a big fan of the first one. I can understand liking the second one. I'll be honest, as much as a Final Fantasy fan as I am, I need to play 5 and I need to play 2. I don't want to play 1 because I tried and it's really bad. I don't like it. I loved 6 and I liked 4. I watched a playthrough on 4. I won't lie. I didn't play that
you
one.
guys ever play Final Fantasy 15?
Yes, I like it.
I have not.
I enjoyed it. I'm one of the few.
how to
so-
accurately surmise my thoughts on this game.
It's interesting. I don't know. I actually really enjoyed it though. I know a lot of people give it crap.
They got the enemies from like generated like
I kind of want to play the cheaty
the enemies
version.
don't like match some of the environments, and it feels like the game was put together really hastily. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna go through the things I don't like about it. This is turning into a Final Fantasy 15 review. What am I doing?
I mean, that's okay. You can. Yeah,
Okay,
why not?
the first thing that I really liked,
Mhm.
every piece of music in that game is
Is
actually the best
phenomenal.
thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's so good.
That's cool.
the
the music
Veiled
is
in
good.
Black arrangement, like not the first one, but like the
Yeah.
second one where they updated it.
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. It's pretty good.
great.
The music
Love
is
it.
really amazing. In that
No
game.
idea
The
what's
visuals
happening.
are actually pretty good too.
No idea what's happening in the story. Got bored of it 10 minutes in. I was like,
The
this
story's so
Is, I
bad.
was like, this is dumb. I was
What's
like, I have to give the rest of the series credit
mhm.
and assume that not every story is.
Oh no,
is that
there's a lot.
bad.
There's so many better stories in the series. 15's story is very weak.
It was
Um,
bad.
If you really want to play like a Final Fantasy like game with like a good story, just play Chrono Trigger. I don't think there's like a Final Fantasy game with like a story quite as good as Chrono Trigger. And the gameplay is
Chrono
pretty
Trigger's
similar.
good.
Just play Chrono Trigger.
Wait, compared to what?
I said I don't think there's like a Final Fantasy game that has like a story quite as good as Chrono Trigger.
Hmm.
Oh, it sounds like we
I
got,
think there's some
seems
that
like we
are.
got another dog fight lined
I'm
up.
saying,
I
like-
think there's some that are, but I won't say that all of them are.
Yeah,
But I love Chrono Trigger, so like I can't.
Frog
that's
might
hard.
be my favorite like RPG character.
Oh, see, I love Robo,
Robo's so cool.
and I love oh gosh,
It's a good game.
Magus.
I think
I
I have
love
an
Magus
idea.
too.
I think I
Magus
have
is
an
cool.
idea for
Magus
another
is cool.
dogfight between you guys.
Ooh, what is it? Go ahead and tell us. Why not?
Persona 5 versus Chrono Trigger. Which
Dude,
child
I will
do I have
fight
to
for
kill?
Chrono Trigger. I will fight for Chrono Trigger.
You gotta have. We could have Persona 5 versus Chrono Trigger, Persona 5 versus Xenoblade. Persona.
Ooh, that's actually a good
That
one.
one actually sounds really good.
Yeah, is it Persona 5 versus Xenoblade? Like,
think
which
that's-
one? One or two?
I'm Persona 5 though, right?
Can I pick whichever one?
Yeah, you can pick.
Okay, I'd probably actually fight for two.
You're gonna
I won't even
lose.
lie.
You're
Dude,
gonna
I don't know,
lose!
man. Xenoblade 2 is a really
It's
good game.
already over.
Xenoblade 2 is a really good game. And also, there's the expansion of Golden Country
Can
too.
Rex pull out a Glock and blow people away in the middle of a Tokyo street?
It's not in the middle of a Tokyo street, but he pulls out a bazooka.
Does he have a stando though?
Doesn't count.
I think he has a bazooka. Wait, no, I think
Bazookas
it is
are over the top.
bazooka.
Glocks are
Bazooka.
classy.
I can't remember
sort
if
of.
he.
It depends on how it's
Man,
portrayed.
I really, and this is, oh, now I'm biting myself in the butt because I need to play Xenoblade 2 again, but I do not own it anymore. That's a game I need to get again.
Xenoblade 2 actually
Ooh.
looked considerably better than the first one, and the first one was
such a
like really
good-
good.
Padre's
Such
got
a
a
good
comment for our
Dogfight.
dogfight that's going to happen later, which he brings up an interesting point.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I already read the
Anyways.
comment. I was like, interesting. It's an interesting idea. I understand that.
But yeah,
But yeah, Final Fantasy 15, man, what a wasted potential game.
I feel like it isn't that bad though.
It's not that bad.
It
but
really
it's not,
isn't.
like,
A lot of
good.
people just give it hate.
you can tell that it could be
The
so
story-
much
There
better.
were moments where
The
I was like,
story's
"Oh, this is so
bad.
cool! What's
Yeah.
happening?" Like, I went in this mine. Like, I could tell like areas that they actually.
Dude, the
were-
mines were always so freaky to me.
Whenever they,
I
actu-
always, when I turned a corner, I would like jump if a goblin jumped out, but like I could kill it in 3 seconds.
I could
So
im-
good.
I could immediately.
Oh,
It's
'cause they start,
weird
like,
in that
draining-
game. You
oh.
can immediately discern which parts of the game they like really worked hard on, and which
Yeah.
ones are like, eh.
that's true.
I guess they just didn't.
I like
Yeah,
riding
like-
in the car and listening to the original Final Fantasy music too, though.
I feel like a lot
That
of
was so much fun.
I feel like a lot of the game.
giant cactus people show up just on
Oh,
the
the
road. and you gotta
cactuars.
fight.
I feel like a lot of the game is. A lot of the game it falls into that category of where they kind of glazed over it. So,
Yeah.
and you know, there's good stuff to be had, but I feel like it's a weaker title in the Final Fantasy.
I'm sure
And the
there were-
combat is.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
sure there
true.
there were problems like with the.
I understand if you like it. There's certain things that I like about it, but
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, I interrupted
there's-
you.
it's fine.
I'm sure there's like problems with the like production, like probably there were time constrictions or money problems or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe they were too busy making Final Fantasy VII HD and they got distracted by that game. Too busy.
Are they even making that game anymore?
No,
What
it's not
game?
happening. It's never
Final
gonna
Fantasy
happen.
VII remake.
It's not happening.
Well, they've given a few small updates on it,
It's
so
not
it's
real.
still happening.
It's not real.
It's definitely still happening. It's just
It'll
there's a
happen-
lot of
it'll
stuff
come
they need
out.
to work on.
It'll come out right after Half-Life 3 and Metroid Prime 4. Oh god!
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was a release date still on Crystal Chronicles. There's not. It's still supposed to release sometime this year. Wait, what did he say?
Don't
What did he say?
test me.
What did he say?
I said, yeah, and Persona 5 Switch.
Don't play.
Ooh.
Don't.
What if it comes out in 2021?
I'd still play it. I'll wait that long. I'll
Okay.
wait as long as it takes.
Dude,
I
I'll
mean-
just get it on PS4 and play it before
The
you
up
do
dog
then.
abides.
I really don't
Yeah.
know what Persona S could be other than Persona for the Switch. Persona
That's
5
true.
Super, but they're already doing that with the Royals.
Persona 5
Super Royal.
Super.
Persona 5 Super Nintendo going back in time, old school, baby.
Dude, what if it
It's
was?
a
masterpiece.
Masterpiece. Okay, so what if it's Persona 5 Super Smash Brothers?
That's dumb. Shut up.
Because it's just actually them showing off Joker in a trailer.
Because it's
Because it's an S.
Shut up. That's
Smash.
why. Stop talking.
Persona
Go
5.
on with the announcements.
Persona 5.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Persona 5, shut up. I like it. Sorry. Okay, yeah, we should go to the next announcement. We've taken a hot minute just talking about stuff.
So Sekiro sold 2 million copies in its first 10 days.
Wow.
It's a really good achievement.
That's
All
more
those-
than any other
Dark
game
Soul.
that
Yeah.
FromSoft has released.
That's cool.
It is
So
probably is looking like
big.
it's going to be the most successful. of
Yeah.
Any.
So there'll probably be a sequel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, if
Yeah.
there's not a sequel to Sekiro, I'd be impressed.
So that's pretty cool. Sekiro, I never gave my review and by now it's too late. But if you haven't tried it, if you're really into like tough games and that kind of stuff, this game, the combat is so rewarding. In a world where games prioritize open sandbox and pseudo exploration,
Grassy
And-
field simulators.
yeah, this
Yeah.
game it has people. It looks linear, but it's so dense that there's so much to explore, so many nooks and crannies.
Mhm.
It has so much charm. The combat is fantastic. You can try out this game.
I find
Yeah.
myself appreciating games that are like carefully designed and like packed and dense over like big open
Mm.
games. Like
Like Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is kind of like a happy medium for me.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate the combat in Breath of the Wild. It
Combat-
sucks.
Combat
That's why I
gets
didn't want to
boring.
argue Odyssey, because I know Odyssey's better game. I know it is.
I mean, I
I like
don't
both of
know.
them.
They both have very, very good things about them, especially with the DLC. I think that really helps Breath of the Wild. I want to say,
yeah, I've replayed Breath of the Wild a couple times.
Yeah,
I have not.
it helps to be a full package.
Yeah, I haven't 100% completed Mario
Hey,
Odyssey.
Up Dog,
though.
do you want to go see Shazam tonight?
Hey, I'm going to see Shazam tonight.
You want to go see Shazam with us?
I'm already going at 8:50. I'm going with the rest of the
Uh,
college people because all like the people at the
Oh
college.
yeah, I
remember?
forgot to register for that.
Yeah, it's
Crap.
like $5. You can go to student services after the show.
Okay, I might do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just tell them it's $5
All right.
for every per person. So
Show
you two can
Ooh.
just go to 8:50 and he can get a ticket to that one,
The
and then
show went
boom,
off the rails really fast.
it did. Daggum. Anyway,
No,
next
I
announcement.
like it, but yes, Kiro's fantastic. Try out that game.
it is a good game.
So
I
hard.
understand.
Sekiro. Shadows die a couple of times.
more
Shadows
than a
die
couple.
some.
Shadows die more than twice, many more times. Oh my gosh! So we talked a lot about the Switch and how
You're
we're
good.
expecting
You're good.
a direct soonish,
Yeah.
probably.
Any day now.
Yeah, lots of
Probably.
people have been like, "Oh my goodness, there's got to be a Switch Direct. It's got to be today." And I'm
Nobody
like,
knows
"Just
when it's
stop."
happening.
It'll
Nobody
pro-
knows anything.
Let
I
it
think
be.
I think it'll probably happen near the end of the month.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we have something else to look forward to. If you're an Xbox boy, there's
Oh.
an Inside Xbox. I guess it's going to be a stream or something. It's going to be coming out April 16th on 5 p.m. Eastern Central Time. They're going to be talking about a lot of stuff.
5
Some
p.m.
games.
Gears of War League, I guess, if you're into esports. They're going to talk about esports stuff. The road to E3. They're treating E3 like WrestleMania, which is dumb.
It's funny.
Wow.
That's funny.
Of course, now all of a sudden it's the most important thing when your main competitor isn't showing up.
Oh yeah. I love how Nintendo's just not even a competitor. They're just kind of their own thing at this point, which I
Nintendo-
love that.
Nintendo, they were kind of in a slump after the Wii U, but now they're just like setting their own.
Yeah, they're their
standards.
own people now.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have to compete
yeah,
with
dude.
either of you.
Xbox is like bringing out cars and all this ridiculous stuff on the stage, and
That's so dumb to me. I don't get that.
Nintendo has like Reggie showing up and like with like Falco feathers and like weird stuff.
Come on,
Nintendo's
Reggie,
weird.
give us Mother 3.
Nintendo is full of old people. It's
And-
weird.
But I love it.
Not
Like,
really.
It's like
I mean,
a charm.
now it's like
They're a bunch of young faces.
Yeah, but
lately,
like
Xbox and PlayStation.
feels like it feels like
Yeah.
yeah.
being
I feel like it definitely used to. I think the changes have really helped.
Didn't you hear? Reggie's gone now. He's
Now
dead.
Bowser runs the company.
dead. Reggie's
Bowser
dead.
runs everything.
But
That was
He
a
had
kill.
Mario and Luigi tied up with GameCube controller cord.
it feels like PlayStation and Xbox are putting out like really cool games. Like mostly cool games. Like we got like Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and Nintendo's just like we're basically Steam now.
We're basically Steam.
We're basically Steam. We got all the indie games on our console. You can just play them.
I mean, that's not wrong, I guess.
We also got Smash.
also got Smash Bros.
The actual Smash.
the greatest party game and fighting game of all time.
Yeah. And Rivals is apparently
Yeah.
coming to the Switch
guess
too.
what? The game is so good. All the mascots that are on it are from our games.
I really wanted
It's
to
the only way it
believe-
could be that good.
really wanted to
True.
believe that Smash was like a really hardcore fighting game when it first came out, but now it's like horrible netcode, weird inconsistencies. It's
Yeah.
just
It's funny because Nintendo's big thing was we're gonna try and link you with people that are right beside like live close to you
I'm
basically.
paying $20 for
And
this.
Zero lives on the west coast, and Elegant lives on the east coast, and they get connected in a Wi-Fi battle.
Excellent.
I'm like, this is probably
on McDonald's Wi-Fi.
yeah, on McDonald's Wi-Fi.
It's the greatest.
Oh
So
my
wacky.
gosh, it's
So
just
wacky.
it's insane what is happening.
But yeah,
with
in this
the
inside
Wi-Fi.
Xbox thing, they're gonna show some esports stuff, but they're also gonna be showing some new games. Chaos Bane, no idea what that is, but it's gonna be a reveal. They're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, this is a game. Rage 2 gameplay reveal.
That was a
So,
thing. Happens.
Some interesting stuff for that. Definitely tune in if
Cool.
you're into Xbox or Rage or want to be into Chaos Bane.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I actually might tune in, but I don't know. I don't have an Xbox, so
Hmm.
they aren't talking about Halo. They're probably saving that for E3.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're probably gonna have they're probably saving that for E3, and then they're gonna have like some Rage 2 booth.
Mm,
So
that's true.
I really wish I could go to an E3.
I wish too, dude. That'd be cool.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So which? think of what
The
we
next
have
one
left.
is second to last one, Stage Builder in Smash. That was leaked
Ooh,
by the
Nintendo.
latest Smash Brothers trailer. Oh my lord! You can
I
see
can't
it
believe
on
they
the
did
screen.
that.
It was on live television. It's
Yeah.
out there. It's TV.
It's on
commercial.
TV now. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's like so funny to me that they didn't catch that.
I don't know if they just didn't catch that or they just didn't care because at this point people were speculating anyways about Stage
That's
Builder.
true. Yeah.
So I think this is just it might be a hidden ploy to make sure keep it relevant.
Yeah.
So
maybe they'll be like, oh no, our big secret about Smash Bros has been released. People found it. Now we just got to put out the Nintendo Direct because everyone knows we got to put it out early.
I wish that'd be nice. But
I don't know. I was never a huge fan of Stage Builder, mostly because most of the stages that I really like are in this game, except for Poke Floats for some reason.
you're gonna build Polka floats?
You can't. Probably.
Well,
maybe you
maybe-
can. I don't
Maybe,
know.
as I said,
It'd
you
be
don't
weird.
know.
I'm interested to see what they do with this next Stage Builder.
I think it would be hilarious if you set up like a really wacky stage and then like you acted like you were gonna go into a match and be really serious, like be on a Final Destination. Then the stage morph comes out and you're on like a stupid.
Oh
like,
my
custom
gosh! I just
stage.
thought of that. You can stage morph that. Oh,
I can remake Mountain Pass.
No,
dude, yeah, Mountain Pass, bro. I loved Mountain Pass.
That was awful.
It was bad, but it was good.
No, it was bad. It was the Bubsy 3D of stages.
Oh my gosh, that's actually
Immortalized forever in your nightmares.
true. In your nightmares. That was funny. But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited. I know that me and my brothers,
I just wonder
whenever
what
we
else,
played Brawl, we had lots of stage building stuff.
what else do you guys think is going to come with the newest update?
Joker from
Well,
Persona.
duh.
I think they're actually they're gonna announce that Joker's coming, and then they're gonna announce who the next character is. I think,
It's Bubsy.
dude, if it was Bubsy, I would die.
It's Knack 2.
I would die if it was Bubsy. I would
Second
die.
I actually kind of want Phoenix Wright to be in the game, but like I don't. I want Phoenix Wright to be in the game, but we already got a joke character in Shulk,
Joker.
so I don't think
Hmm.
they can. I don't think they have room for another one yet.
You said Shulk with a joke character.
I said Joker was because his name's literally Joker.
Oh, you said he's a joke character
because he's Joker.
because his name is Joke. That's a funny joke.
Thanks.
Stop talking.
You know what? You're the one that said Shulk was bad,
And I was
so-
right.
Oh,
And you're
impromptu
wrong.
dogfight. Let's see it.
Okay,
Oof.
okay.
Physical-
Shulk is good because he's got Monado arts
You
and
know
his
what?
smash attacks have really long reach and his down smash
Oh
hits
wow,
multiple
he
times.
makes a really good argument. What do you guys say
Let's
about
just
that?
do Xenoblade versus Persona 5 as a dogfight. I actually want to do this now.
Yeah, let's do
You
it.
convinced
I
me.
dare you, right now. Come at me.
Not right now. Not today. We gotta do.
But I'm not. Wait, I'm not doing the one with Shulk in it. I'm doing the one with Rex in it. Actually, no, I can do the one with Shulk in it if you want to.
You can take.
I don't
both
care.
Games.
Do whatever
I
you
don't
I don't
want.
care.
He-
I'll beat
he
them
look-
both.
he
You
look-
do 2 games. I'll do 1. I'll still beat you.
Oh, sure, by all means.
I'll take on
Sure.
your whole series with Persona 5.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about the other games in the series, in the Xeno series.
I know a little about.
There's 3.
Because there's
three games.
Xenosaga,
Actually-
there's Xenosaga, there's Xenogears, there's Xenoblade, there's Xenoblade 2 now.
There's like
Oh, that's way more games than I care to play.
Persona.
yeah.
The Persona series is
The
actually
first
like
2
a
are bad.
spin-off
Don't play them.
of Shin Megami
I think.
Tensei.
Yeah. Persona is a spinoff of Shin Megami Tensei.
And then Persona 5 Dancing by Moonlight is a dancing game. It's a spin-off.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to say, see, Persona 5 is a dancing game.
It's a good dancing game though.
That is.
It's really good.
I mean, it's got Persona 5 music in it, so I can
Persona
give you
4
that.
actually got like a really good fighting game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Persona 4 did. It was
Dude,
pretty
what if that's what Persona S is instead of...
I'd be down for that too.
Yeah.
I'd play a Persona 5 fighting game
I think that'd be pretty good.
if it was on the Switch. If it's not, then I'm kind of
Out of luck.
out of luck.
What if it's a bundle for the Switch that includes the new fighting game?
I'd be excited, I guess, in this hypothetical situation.
Nice. All right, are we gonna talk about the next next news thing real quick?
Yes. All right.
Husky's
good.
having an existential crisis.
I'll read it. It's okay. Okay.
Get your
Mhm.
hands away from my notes,
Okay.
mongrel. All
I'm
right.
sorry.
All right, next and final announcement. So EA, Electronic Arts, has announced their next installation in the Star Wars saga.
Star Wars.
Star Wars video
Star
game
Wars.
saga. It's not a Battlefront. They're not ruining that franchise anymore. Instead, they
Thank
have
goodness.
opted to create another franchise and run that. at the same
Stop
time.
it!
Well, they're not
stop
making it,
He's
they're just
already
continuing it.
dead.
It is dead, sadly, right
What?
now.
This is branching off from another one.
Yeah, I think so. Because Jedi Academy was a series.
Oh well, good. Then they can just kill.
Yeah, they're just gonna kill the series more. Because
This-
I've heard a lot of people love the Jedi Academy games. I played.
Are those like spin-offs of
Jedi
like Knight of the
Academy.
Old Republic?
No, it's not. It's not like that. It's
I tried to play
It's a
Knight of
bit
the Old
different.
Republic, and I think I was too young to understand how that game worked.
I have the second one on my
It's
on
kinda like
Steam, and
Mass Effect a little bit.
it's okay. You have to get like really into it. And you have to invest a lot of time. I
It's-
think
Yeah, Mass
to
Effect.
know what's happening.
It is kind of like a proto Mass Effect, and then like it's not as streamlined, and there's a lot of complicated stuff that just got cut out. But like if you're really into that style of games, then like it's good,
Yeah.
I guess.
I feel like for me, I would want to play it with multiple people. Like I
Yeah.
would want it to be kind of like an MMO, but it
EA,
isn't. So sorry.
EA has announced Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. They, and by announced, I mean they said don't stand out, and then they had a picture of what I guess is the logo for the game. It was like a
Oh,
half destroyed lightsaber on this runic slab.
I know what they're gonna do with
Is
this
this like a-
game now,
a
and I'm
post
so upset.
Order
Why
66.
don't you tell us?
Okay, so the Jedi Academy games are set in the original trilogy times. Actually, after the original trilogy.
Is it
times.
Jedi High School?
It's basically Luke Skywalker after defeating Darth Vader is the only Jedi left. And so yeah, it's basically kind of like that where he's training up Jedi to make the new Jedi Order.
That sounds more
And
interesting.
so
than the
if this
movies.
is Fallen Order, basically what I assume they're going to end up doing is they're going to make it like the movie
You're gonna
was.
link it into the movie.
They're going to it makes sense in a way because I mean, the movie did that because Luke was like I was training up Jedi and then Kylo Ren said no to that. And so, like, I have a bad feeling it's going to be like that,
This
where
could-
Kylo Ren's going to be in the game, and he's going to be like, I have to destroy the Order. And then
This could
this
also
crap
just-
happens. I really hope it's not, and that they make a completely original story,
No,
but I'm
it's-
scared
no, it's
because
not
it's
happening.
EA. So,
This could just be like Star Wars Order 66, the video game.
it may be that, but my thing is, if they're playing off of the hype of this is from the Jedi Academy games, I think it'll be after Order 66.
Is Jedi
Because Order
Academy
66 was in was episode 3. So the Jedi Academy games are really good. A lot of people have a lot of like hype about them and stuff.
Wasn't
So,
EA?
I don't know if it's on
Wasn't
Steam. Is it
EA
on Steam?
behind?
it,
Wasn't EA
Really?
with BioWare
$10.
on Anthem?
Huh?
Wasn't EA with BioWare on Anthem?
Yes.
I think so.
You know what was interesting?
What?
EA actually had nothing to do with why that game.
Yeah,
was bad.
it was all BioWare.
They've just been
Yeah.
they have a horrible workplace and like
Bad
they
management?
all try to like slap things together last minute. and
Yeah.
it's funny because like we were all like, "Oh, EA's in it. It's gonna be bad." EA actually had nothing to do. They gave them full control. They gave BioWare full control of this title.
Like,
EA just can't catch a break. Then they were
you
like,
said
okay,
Anthem?
So they're
Right.
like, okay, we'll take our hands
Yeah,
off
Anthem.
this.
That makes so much sense. That gum.
So
It started with Dragon Age Inquisition because, like, I guess a lot of people in the studio resented that success because that success meant that the bad habits that they had developed over the years were going to stick around.
Yeah.
So, and bad habits of like management and in the studio stuff. And then Andromeda was when it was starting to, the ship was starting to
Who helped
capsize.
make Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy?
By Raven Software, LucasArts. It's LucasArts. That means it's.
Yeah, LucasArts games.
Yeah. It looks pretty fun.
It was
Yeah.
actually a really good game. It was
So-
for like Xbox. I think the original
know.
Xbox.
I'm willing to give EA the benefit of the doubt for this game.
I really
I'm
hope
not.
so
I'm
But,
not. I
I
think they're
I,
awful.
I
'Cause
hope
these
that
games are
I
so
hope
good.
that it'll work, but I doubt it will.
because
It
there were like
won't.
2 games like that. I can't remember what the first one is because this is Jedi Academy. I think is the sequel. I actually watched a speed run over these 2 games. Funny enough, like this week. So yeah,
Interesting. I don't know. I'm kind of done with Star Wars and EA and video games
Yeah.
and
Ugh.
I'm done with video games.
not.
Done. Ugh. I'm on a video game show and I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Why did Lucas sell the rights?
Didn't he? Hey, look, Disney makes good games.
Shut up.
Kingdom Hearts is a great game.
Shut up.
I knew he'd say it. I was like,
I liked the Aladdin
Uh,
game.
for the NES.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
The Lion King game was pretty good on the Genesis.
They made a Lion King game.
Yeah, for the Genesis. It was actually very similar to the Aladdin game.
It's just side scrolling, jumping around, being a cat,
Because
Mhm.
platforming is the easiest format to copy.
Basically.
pretty much.
Apparently they made a Treasure Planet game for the
that,
PlayStation 2.
That baffles me as to why Sonic still hasn't made a good game.
Sonic is a weird case.
Sonic
as far as
Mania is a
platformers.
good game.
Never been a good Sonic.
Sonic
game.
Mania.
Ever.
Not in my opinion, but
Sonic Mania, guys. Sonic Mania is a good game. You'll have to at least admit that one, okay? Like, I will even take you hating on Adventure 1 and 2, but you'll have
Sonic-
to admit that Mania is a good game.
Sonic Mania didn't set itself on fire, which makes it better, but that doesn't mean it's good.
I think
Okay.
it was a good game.
I don't think it's. I didn't enjoy the Sonic games, but I do think Sonic Mania is objectively a good game.
Hmm.
I can look at it and be like, okay,
I can take that.
Mighty Armadillo's in it. Can't be that bad.
Yeah. And Ray the Flying Squirrel.
Mighty Armadillo's in it. Can't be that bad.
You can't talk about Mighty without his partner Ray.
My movie review for Unplanned is posted. If you guys want to go on the
For what?
tower- on the-
Unplanned?
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
was it-
excited for
Can
that.
you tell me how it was?
I want to.
I'm curious.
You want to see Unplanned?
No, I want to see your review of it because that sounds entertaining.
I'm very curious because
it
isn't
felt
it
very
supposed to
much
be
like
kind
a
of like
it felt very much like a propaganda movie.
like a
like a-
propaganda?
It was made by PureFlix, and I agree with the message and everything.
Who's
But
Pure Flix? I'm trying to remember who
the
that
guys
is.
who made God Is Not Dead and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, I really hope it wasn't bad.
It
was
wasn't-
Was it bad or like was it?
The acting was it was bad characterization. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just like it was passable. That's what I would say.
Yeah. But the message was okay.
Oh yeah, I
Because, like-
completely agree with the
okay,
message. I
I was
just
gonna
wish they would
say.
have delivered it in a more
'Cause
compelling way. It's not going
part-
to change anybody's mind because
Yeah.
it comes off like a Christian, like an evangelical
Yeah.
propaganda film.
But part of
Like,
it was
ugh.
like he only survived due to a mother's love. I heard that in the trailer.
What?
In the trailer, there's a part where one of the doctors or someone says the only way he survived was through his mother's love
I
for
don't-
him. And I was like, what? Because I rewound it and then listened to
Oh,
that part
I think
again.
I think you're talking about a completely different movie. Are you talking about the
No,
one with the Luke
that's-
Cage actor in it?
No. I'm talking about Unplanned.
The one where it's
Or
about
whatever.
the abortion clinic?
Yeah.
That never happened in the movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh.
There was no
Okay.
surviving one.
The movie was very informative.
The movie
Interesting.
was very informative.
So you said you just posted it though, right? I'll check it out later.
You guys remember when the show was about games?
yeah.
Shut up.
That was
Actually, we
pretty
should
cool.
probably take a break before you guys do your dogfight
Yeah.
because we should do your dogfight.
What are your final thoughts on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, guys? Tell me what you're thinking.
I got high hopes. I hope it's good because the other games were good.
I don't have any hopes. I think it's probably going to be bad, and I'll laugh when it is. If it isn't, then I'll be pleasantly surprised and excited for the people who were hoping it would be good. It won't be though.
The last Star Wars
Okay.
game I owned, well, not even that. I guess the
Force
last Star Wars game I played was one of the newer Battlefronts, but I remember the last one that actually had a little that I thought was okay, at least with SWTOR.
I think the last Star
Really?
Wars
Did you not
game-
like Force Unleashed? Or did
I
you ever
played
play it?
SWTOR after.
Oh,
Force
okay.
Unleashed.
What's SWTOR? I'm trying to remember.
It's the MMO one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think the
I
last.
thought that had a really interesting concept, but I hated everything. I was like, this is too much stuff going on in this game.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird thing about Unplanned is the soundtrack underperformed in the wrong one. Yeah, it was weird.
I liked Lego Star Wars.
I would say go watch it.
Lego
But,
Star Wars
you
is
know,
good.
Yeah.
I never played the Clone
it's,
Wars
It's
one.
really gruesome, and
There-
I
it's
feel
pretty
like it doesn't do enough to warrant. It doesn't do enough to deserve that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really trying. It's really has something really important to say, but it's weighed down by other things that are just crucial to good filmmaking that are kind of.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right. Anyways,
I think we're gonna take a break before our dogfight, maybe.
yeah, let's take
Yeah.
a break. So if you haven't heard yet or haven't put it together, our dogfight today, Super Mario 64 versus Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation 1. They both released in 1996. It's interesting.
They did. The two very different takes on what 3D platforming should be.
Yeah,
That's true, actually.
it's interesting. I think it's going to be interesting. I kind of want to go over the development because there are interesting things that happened in Crash Bandicoot's development and interesting things they did.
Mhm.
And I think
That's fine.
the
with me.
interesting approach. I don't think
This
the way. Yeah, we'll get into
Yeah.
that more. Stay tuned. We're gonna give you an ad
Yeah.
and some music. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Don't do it.
Unleashed by a meeting of fate. The night comes along as I wait. Desperate cry, the mantle of chosen passed on. So where would I even begin? A saint in a valley of sin. Both above and below, the might of the gods is long gone. Hollow life, you rebirth, set forth the soldiers who by the earth, burning down, that's to die, laden with monstrous souls deep inside, sacrificed into flame. Now fans killing, they all burn the same, all to stay. Of the end, I wish the sinner's desire to let there be fire again. Where light shines above the abyss, I'll pass through the darkening mist. At the toll of the bells, I'll ride to face vengeance divine. But where are the guardians now? Our idolized sun is burned out. This world left to ashes, legacy soon to be mine. Hollow life, new rebirth, set forth the soldiers who by the earth, burning down, that's to die, laden with monstrous souls deep inside, sacrifice into flame. Now fans killing, they all burn the same, all to stay. Of the end, I'll quench the sinner's desire to let there be fire again. Fire! shot in the dark from a treacherous start to the embers last spark like a moth to the flame. I've wandered too close to come home. I'm ready now, ready for the nights burned away from the sun's glory. These lifeless ashes give way to this lone wolf. Afraid I will carry the light and build on the fires with my bones. Hollow night, new rebirth, set for the soldier consumed by the earth, burdened down. As to die, laden with monstrous souls deep inside, sacrificed into flame. Now fed is kindling, they all burn the same, with warmth to stave. Of the end, I'll quench the sinner's desire to let there be fire. Hollow life, new rebirth, set for the soldier consumed by the earth, burdened down. That's to die, laden with monstrous souls deep inside, sacrificed into flame. Now man is kindling, they all burn the same, want to stay. Of the end, I'll quench the sinner's desire to let there be fire again.
In 95, I helped tow your trailer. And in 09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back.
Here we go.
You're listening
All
to the
right.
Doghouse with Husky, Dingo, and Updog.
I am filled with liquid rage.
Get ready for the dog fight. Today, it is going to be Super Mario 64, represented
go.
by Updog, versus Crash Bandicoot, represented by Husky. Your judge today,
Mamma mia.
your judge today will be Dingo. That's me. Hello.
That is
Welcome
you.
to our dog fight. How are our contestants doing?
I've been drinking Mountain Dew this whole time. I kind of got to pee, but I want to win more.
That's why I went during the break.
To get in the
Husky,
in
how
the
about
mood-
you?
To get in the mood for arguing for Crash, I spun in the hallway for 3 hours until I reached Mach 5 speed.
Oh gosh. Okay,
I'm prepared.
nice.
If I lose, I'm taking everybody in this room with me when I spin.
Well,
I'm ready to go.
the way that I'm going to start it
I don't
is
know
I'm
if you're
going to
deaf.
start it like usual. I'm going to let y'all have y'all's opening arguments. And then after that, I'm going to ask each of you a few questions about your game. Since they're both 3D platformers, I'm going to try and keep it towards that thing. Anyway, cool. So, opening arguments. Who wants to start?
I don't care.
I don't care either.
Okay, one of y'all say yes or something.
Okay, whoever wins.
Rock, paper,
starts. Rock, paper,
scissors.
scissors.
One,
This is some
two,
live
three,
YouTube
yeah.
kind of commentary. Oh gosh.
Uh,
Oh, okay, there we go.
uh,
Well, it
The
looks
trend has
like
been set. I
it looks
stand
like
no chance.
Husky. Looks like Husky is going to start out with the
First
opening
of-
arguments.
I think
the
the
first
dog
of
fight-
many victories.
The dogfight's
Oh,
over.
no.
The gods have spoken.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
All right.
Okay, I was like, that gum. This man is.
All right. Whoa! Yeah, Crash has the best memes, so I win.
I don't know. Mario 64 got some pretty good memes. They're older though,
Yeah.
because Crash. Is that your opening argument? Okay, I'll start.
Is that his opening argument?
Okay,
It's very
so,
straightforward, relying on the memes. I
I
understand.
mean, hey, that's a respectable start.
So, the year of 1996.
That's when we were both born.
If when we were both
This
born.
battle. Of
Wait, are we all both 96?
Yeah!
See, I'm a
Fated
98.
duel.
I'm a 98 boy. I was out whenever Ocarina of Time came out.
See Logan or Updog.
That's why you're still a novice in the
This-
gaming world.
this
Oh,
battle-
shut up.
This battle has been fated since we first started. When I came out, into this world. When I came into this world, I was playing Crash. When you playing this world, you playing Super Mario 64.
Oh wow! This is a fight that has been.
Well, actually,
I was also
Fated to
playing Mario
happen.
64, but that's
That's another thing.
actually,
thing.
this battle began when I became a vampire after I was adopted by your great grandparents' family back in England.
deal.
A whole bunch of stuff went down. It's not
Oh.
really that important.
I
Don't
was
worry
going to
about
say
it.
Castlevania, but okay.
No.
You said vampire, and so I just assumed.
So 1996, the year gaming went 3D.
Mm.
Big year.
Alongside juggernauts such as Bubsy 3D that came out in 96 too.
Hey, it won. Okay, it won the fight already.
I won.
At what cost?
I won.
He's literally left the room.
I won.
I guess you win.
I'm the great.
Oh, here he comes. Okay. here he
I'm
goes.
the greatest.
He heard me say. He heard me say. I think you win, and he's like, "No, I gotta fight this
Wait, no. I have to defend the honor of my
of his game."
All right, so 1996, the year gaming went 3D.
The year Jim's
you,
like.
you
Bubsy
have
3D came
the
out.
least successful of the bunch, obviously being Bubsy, but then you have two titans
Mm.
that would come to become their icons. Well, one was already an icon, but there was a rise of a new icon on the horizon, one who was orange and spun a lot.
Yeah.
His name was Crash Bandicoot. So his game released around the same time that Super Mario 64 did. It's interesting. The development and all that stuff. Here, what's going to be my
at this point, like 3D platforming, like there were a couple 3D platforming games, but they weren't
yeah
good. Like this was
they were
this year really just like defined 3D platforming.
yeah. And Crash Bandicoot would be the first of a trilogy of which would be all of them would be critically acclaimed and pretty much universally loved.
Cool.
But it all begins in 1996. That's when Naughty Dog some of the developers said that that's when their real careers in the gaming industry started. Is the
Okay.
development of Crash Bandicoot, which started in 1994, I believe. So,
Nice.
what Crash Bandicoot brings to the table, you have, in comparison to Mario specifically, you have a character who is insane. He's a furry little.
He's a furry.
speed
Oh
bump.
no, he's a furry. Oh no.
Oh
furry
no!
You can immediately tell that there's a difference because whereas Mario
true.
kind of looks like he fits into the environment, Crash sticks out in his orange against a lot of the backdrops.
Yeah,
And
that's kind of his thing, is being disruptive and like
It's-
sticking out.
it's a very beautiful contrast that really it really sticks out and it distinguishes itself. And this would be lost in the later titles as they jump to the PS2 and Naughty Dog handed off the development.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that.
Twin Sanity was okay though.
They got the
I like
Silent
that
Hill
one.
treatment.
I like Twin Sanity. Anyway. Okay, so I'll let that be the opening argument for now.
But what Crash brings to the table, it brings. I'm gonna finish.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish.
I will let you finish this statement, and then
It brings,
we're gonna have to move.
Tight controls, really memorable characters, levels, and really it never gets old.
Okay.
And I think that's what Crash brings to the table, and it's just a fantastic game. It stands the test of time, and
Yeah.
that's my opening argument. I don't know.
Alright,
I
cool.
feel like if I get asked questions,
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and make sure we have time for questions as well. So all right, Updog, go ahead and start your opening argument for 64. Super Mario 64, I should say.
Yeah, like my esteemed colleague said, 1996 Mario 64 came out. Took 3 years of development, but like it had been considered by Shigeru Miyamoto doing a 3D Mario for like 6 years.
Mm.
Up to this point, like the last mainline Mario game to come out was Super Mario World, I believe.
Yes, for the Super
And
Nintendo.
like if you the jump from the 2D platforming Mario to 3D is like tremendous.
Mm.
Like it really was. Like there's almost no like build up or evolution between the two. It is just taking like the idea of Mario like running along and jumping over obstacles and attacking enemies with your jumps and putting it into 3D, like it meshed perfectly. The game kind of started the trend of like a whole developers kind of based their formulas off of Mario 64, like Rareware. They did like all their games kind of take a lot of stuff from Mario 64. Your Banjo-Kazooie,
I would say that
your
it
Donkey
led
Kong.
to a creation of a lot of
Yeah.
new games on the
It-
64, which were arguably better.
I don't know about that. The
Hmm.
collective, it
It
did
led
start.
to the creation of the best game, the Ants Life video game for Nintendo 64.
I think it did kind of start a trend where you shut up during my opening arguments.
Oh, okay.
At least that's my
Calm
hopes
down,
and dreams.
Calm down. You talk during his, you can
Yeah.
talk some during yours.
I had constructive comments though. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
The point of the game is exploration based, where Crash Bandicoot is a very linear, like point A to point B, like get to the goal, which is fine. Mario takes a different approach where you collect stars to win the level, or the stage, and there's a bunch of different challenges within like a sandbox, like playground style of stage, where a whole lot of different things can be going on at once.
Okay.
And you have to carefully like map out and explore each stage. And there's always lots of fun, like exciting things in each of the areas. It also started the trend of 3D games having hub worlds. And Mario 64, I think, has probably the best hub world out of that era of gaming.
All
But yeah,
right.
I'll get more in depth when we start the questions. That's my opening
All right.
argument.
Good opening arguments for both of you. So I know that something that Husky was talking about earlier is development stuff, and so I have a question for you first. How was the development cycle of your game?
All right, so the development cycle for this game was really unique because they found a way to make this game look a lot more aesthetically pleasing than pretty much any other game that you would find on the market at the time. Like, if you,
Especially for PlayStation.
you can compare it to, I think, a lot of games that came out, I think up to like maybe Banjo, because while Mario and Mario's great, and it had things like you mentioned this in the Bubsy thing, where all the shapes and stuff, you can tell what they are, like they're wood or concrete.
They program textures into things.
The problem with that is that it was still limited by the Nintendo 64's hardware, in that they couldn't render like really complex stuff or make a really cohesive environment, especially in stuff like the Bowser levels. It looks kind of, at points, it looks silly, but it's not like bad silly. I'm not saying that it's bad. But when you get to Crash, the interesting thing is that it all looks cohesive, and it all looks like a really naturalist environment, and it all makes sense. You understand what's happening on the screen, like, oh, you're going across a river or you're going through the jungle. And the way they were able to achieve that, they have this I forgot what the term was, but they used it they would hide like more complex polygons behind big polygons that were in the foreground, and then as that moved in, the more complex polygons would render. So that
really has a lot to do with the whole camera view and like the movement of Crash.
They had a really unique way of using the camera in the design of the levels, and it would tell you what you need to do and how you need to approach that level, what you need to look out for. Like if you had to look ahead and expect things from the foreground or aim ahead, it would be behind them. But if you had to like precisely space jumps from a top-down perspective, it would have that, and it would. I think that was part of the development, is that the PS1 had its limitations too. I think the PS1 and N64 are around the same.
Yeah, in terms of limitations.
This was during the console wars, and they were like neck and neck. No one was.
They were very close to each other at that point, for sure.
So I'd say that I think Naughty Dog definitely found a way to work around those limitations. While I'm not saying that Super Mario 64, they pioneered a lot of stuff. But I think in terms of development, I think Naughty Dog was just more clever in how they approached it and how they worked around it. And they worked the 3D element into a way that's a little bit more finessey. Like you'd have a more narrow x-axis, but at the same time, you would have to look for venues, like you'd have to like jump to the side to these little nooks and crannies to get away from like a fleet of bats or like a explosive barrel rolling down at you. So
barrel roll.
So I think the development is so cool, and early Naughty Dog was just phenomenal in how they
did a good job.
It's so weird to look back on these games of like when we look at games now, like the best 3D platformers like Yooka-Laylee and like Mario Odyssey, or like even some of the Sonic games, we can be like, oh, this game is like, whatever before, but like Crash Bandicoot, it didn't even have Mario to fall back on. Like the concept of running and jumping. It's just like, we're going to make a 3D game. And it's going to be about a bandicoot.
It's going to be about a bandicoot.
What did I drink last night? I don't know. Let's do it.
Oh my Lord.
What do you think? Okay, sorry. I want to ask another question real quick. Because this one's kind of more specific to your game, I think.
Right.
How are the 2D sections? Do you think they controlled well?
The 2D sections? I thought, and I think this was something that plagued both. Not really. It plagued both, but it plagued a lot of games in that it was early 3D.
That's true. Yeah.
But for that time,
it's very experimental still.
For that time, I thought it was controlled really tight, and actually part of the curve of that game was trying to get used to the physics and understanding how he moved. Yeah. So in a way, movement was and understanding how the movement works was really integral to that game. So I thought the 2D sections worked perfectly fine, and they had nice difficulty spikes, and you had to learn the gimmicks of
the stage.
There was like when you jumped on like a crow. If you jumped on an enemy in midair, if you press jump right as you hit them, you'll go higher. So it was
that's interesting.
It was. They didn't have a lot of things, like Crash couldn't interact a lot. Like with Mario, you can interact a lot, but with this one, you didn't really have to, because there's so many little neat things and unique cool ways that you could approach different obstacles. So I just think in terms of development, Naughty Dog really knocked it out of the park, and they delivered. They delivered beyond what was thought that they could.
Okay.
So
nice. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Also, I think they get extra points because they're dogs. They were dogs.
That's fair. They're dogs.
Naughty dogs.
That's true. All right. Well, Updog, I'm going to ask you the same question, actually. So how was the development cycle of your game?
Okay, so I kind of mentioned this in my opening statement. Before this, I think the most closest to advanced 3D graphics and like gaming that they had for Nintendo was like Donkey Kong Country 2, I think, where it wasn't really 3D, it was still a 2D game. But the whole thing about Mario, like there's like whole art books of like stuff Shigeru Miyamoto did for the development and like the design of levels in Mario 64. Like they would sit down and they would just do like sketches of different obstacles they wanted in the games, and they would just like do sketches of the whole thing from every angle, and they would like map out carefully all the stages. And like you mentioned, like certain parts of the game don't really follow themes.
The Bowser sections.
The Bowser section specifically, and like Rainbow Road in places.
Yeah, there's certain
areas where they're more.
It's a bit wacky.
It's they're a bit wacky and they're a bit more imaginative.
It's not
But
bad.
those
It's
levels are like the more hardcore. I would say like gameplay areas. Like there's less exploration and more like, okay, I see where I need to go. There's just all this nonsense going on in front of me. Like those areas typically have like no floor beneath you, where it's all just obstacle running. So like I think the biggest part of Mario 64 still is the exploration. Like even the whole game is kind of meant to give you this freedom. You don't have like an area you have to go at the beginning of the game, and if part of it frustrates you, you can like go to another area. And even the way Mario moves is very freeing. Like he has all kinds of different options about how he jumps and moves through the air, and how even like in the ways he lands, he can switch to other jumps that let you get more momentum. Like even some of the stars are just like, sitting out in the middle of nowhere and you want to get to them. If you're creative, you can find new ways to get to those areas that you couldn't get before. And the game rewards you for exploration. Like I remember there's this one level, like you go in and the stages are all based on paintings. Like you jump through a painting and that warps you to the area you want to be. Remember in this one area, there's like a mirror like behind the painting. And I just happened to go up to it and I like touched it a little bit and the whole thing rippled like a painting. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a secret stage. They just hide little areas all around the castle.
It reminded me of Dark Souls, how they kind of did that, and where they had like illusory walls.
Dude, there's some there's some almost scary things in this. Like if any Mario game was scary, I think it was this one.
That's true.
They had some a lot of and I know I'm supposed to be arguing.
No, you're fine.
But like I really liked how like they had really strong themes for each level. Like and I thought that was something that was really interesting. That they kind of did that in Odyssey too, with each world having a heavy theme.
Yeah, those are all based on like the places they are.
And I think the formula of 64 Mario was really mastered.
Yeah,
as time went on.
But I think
understandably
another thing about like it's almost like you become comfortable. Like just when you kind of become comfortable with like the hub world and like the mechanics of the game, the whole thing just like turns you for a loop when you find a new level. Like you're kind of comfortable with the castle and being able to jump, and you understand how to map out levels and understand everything. The next thing you know, you're in an underground city that just flips upside down to where you not only have to understand where everything is, but where it falls to when the city turns in different directions. It's very cool stuff that had no reference. It all just came from the people who were working on it. And they didn't cut any corners or like hold back in the time it took them to make it. They worked very hard to create a masterpiece. That's my answer to your question.
Well, I'm going to ask this next question real quick. How does the character control in the environment, and does the control scheme fit the game? You're up first, Updog. What do you think?
Can we say something about both games for this one?
If you both agree, then yes.
I think we kind of established we're just comparatively going over.
Yeah. And I would like to compare.
Well, then y'all can go ahead. By all means.
I think Mario moves, I don't want to say perfectly. Like it's an older game and there were definitely some glitches and bugs in the system, but I think he moved as well as he possibly could in this game. Right. Like I said, the options you have for different jumps and techniques you can use in the air are like phenomenal. The 64 controller was like I mean, it was it's uncomfortable now, but it worked pretty well for
Yeah.
that game.
I remember
And,
I got blisters on my hand when I did the bastard. The Bowser thing.
Oh yeah.
And I was
When
like,
you had to
I was like,
spin it.
"Ah!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it was fun though.
yeah,
It was.
I got like
fun.
sore palms because I would just like
Yeah,
put my
I
whole
would.
hand-
I would.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so many 64 controllers that have just like the floppy, like
Oh
joystick,
my
joystick
lord!
just
Yeah,
flop
I
around.
had one of those.
Oh, man.
Excellent. But yeah, like, and even if you didn't want to use the control stick, there were still buttons like a D-pad for areas that felt weird.
Ooh, uh-oh, we got a call out. Oh, snap. The father of Husky commenting and saying that Husky played 64 all the time when he was a young pup. Crash, not so much.
Because it was easier.
Hashtag sorry, son.
Looks like you had better taste when you were a kid, grew up and turned evil.
Group
save
turned
you, though.
evil.
It's because you were playing the Phantom Menace game all the time.
Ooh. Ooh.
Is that a bad game? Is it a good game?
Continue with your
Okay.
answer.
He said it's because you played
You're
Phantom
distracting
Menace.
me. Anyway,
Anyway.
Mario moves really well. For most of the part, like moving, most of the game you jump, but there are sections where there are 3 like alternate ways to move around in Mario 64. You can swim, and there are some big water levels in the game.
Put your time out.
Go ahead.
Most of the game you like run and jump, and those are all fun. There's flying sections of the game,
Mhm.
which actually those controlled really well too in a 3D environment. Which, like, other than like Star Fox, there weren't very many flying 3D space games.
I would say one thing. I feel like the flying stuff
Mhm.
was really good over like the open areas, like the bomb place and
Yeah.
stuff. But as soon as you got a void over you, it became really obtuse because of the way you had to you had to defend and then go up. It was really weird. That like there was this one secret level where you had to collect these red
Yeah.
coins.
In the lobby,
Ooh,
you
yeah.
look up.
I
at the-
remember that.
yeah,
I hated that.
Like stuff like
Oh,
that. I
man.
think that it was cool. But I
Something-
I think
feel
it's kind of
like
like
I
the
feel like
preciseness of the control.
I feel like
really.
they're kind of
Something interesting about those areas, though, those were not areas you had to beat, though. Those were all optional. Like
Well,
the stage you
that's
just
true.
mentioned, that's like a bonus stage that you find in the
Yeah, and
beginning
but
area.
I think I feel like we should judge it whole. But I
Yeah,
agree.
I'm
It's not
putting-
you're not required to go through that.
That's true.
I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
I feel like the people who made the game were like, this is kind of like, this is more experimental.
And
People might not like this, but so let's kind of make it its own
Yeah.
thing to where it's
People
it's not
find it.
necessary.
yeah,
You do a bit of swimming, like some of the required, like there's some water levels.
swimming.
They're not bad. They could have been better, but like
Paradox is fun. What are you talking
they're
about?
fine.
Diadox's
Getting-
music.
Trying to get away from those giant eels
Oh,
underwater,
man.
like you're
It's
desperately
fantastic.
scrambling. It's fantastic. It's amazing.
All right, so we talked a lot about 64's controls now.
Oh, you slide.
You know what's even?
The
Crash.
slides. You slide around on your
Oh, the
butt.
tummy.
I hate the,
The tummy
slide
slide.
level.
I
Shut
love
up.
the sliding.
slide
It's
levels
so
are great. What are you
good.
talking about? The slides are great.
You learn how to slide. These penguins teach you how to do it. They're like, hey, you want to be a penguin?
I always tried to cheat on
Here's
that
how you
level.
do it.
Oh, I love that one.
I tried to
man.
like jump down to a lower
But
one.
you could.
He
too.
always, yeah. He's like, you cheater. But like,
You had
I'm like,
the
shut
freedom.
up.
"Hey,
I'm
shut up,
Mario.
man, Shut up.
It's a me, Mario.
All
I
right,
do
so
whatever I want.
How did
Murder
Crash
your whole
control?
penguin family.
Oh gosh.
I'm
How
sorry.
do you think Crash controlled? Like in his games, and do you think it
How do I
fit
think he
his
controlled?
environment? Yeah.
I think I already went over this. It was really tight.
Yeah.
They had like stuff like quirks, like if you start your spin, you can't stop your momentum, and so you had to think about what you were gonna do.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like it's not as complex as Mario, and they didn't add a lot of stuff. I feel like they took the old like 2D style of like running it and getting all the objectives as you go.
Yeah.
And where Mario 64 kind of departed from that a little bit. They kind of took
Yeah.
that and they applied it to a 3D format, and I would say that it was kind of remastered in a way, because you had to really consider how your character moved. Like in Super Mario 3, they had this thing where I think it was Super Mario 3, you could slide down hills.
Yeah.
So
I think that might be.
one
No,
of
that's the third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The third one's when it was new. That's right.
I remember,
yeah, that's the raccoon.
Yeah, raccoon
yeah,
suit.
yeah,
that was like a really cool movement option that you could incorporate into that. And I feel like this one, it gives you some movement things to think about, and it requires you to precisely time. time your jumps, and a lot of times it really puts obstacles in your way that like try to make you panic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really about keeping your cool head and being precise in how you movement and how you manipulate Crash's movement. Like there's a boss fight against Koala Kong.
Koala Kong?
Koala Kong.
Oh no!
Actually,
Do you want me to talk about the
That's
character?
a
I want to
question.
talk about
That's
the
something.
characters.
That's something I wanted to bring up
But-
in a second.
I have
Koala
As far as
Kong.
control goes, is
I have a
that what you
question.
wanna? Is that what you wanna say? And that's good.
I have
Yeah.
a question about the controls
Okay.
though.
Koala
okay.
Kong.
Well, we have a question.
Can I just real quick address
Yeah.
this? I didn't play Crash Bandicoot. I was a Nintendo boy through
Yeah,
and
that's
through.
fine. I was too.
Yeah.
So
But like I feel like a lot of the gameplay I've seen of Crash Bandicoot, it looks almost like some of those like running games where like you're running towards the camera and you have to like get past obstacles like as they come up in front of your character.
Mm,
like Temple Run.
Like
no,
the
the opposite of Temple
opposite
Run.
of Temple Run. You're
Where
running
like
towards
the
the
boulders,
camera.
like the boulder stage where it's coming after you and you have to run towards the camera.
The Boulder stage was awesome.
Is the whole game not like that, or is that just one?
No,
stage?
they have
That's
they
a
have,
few
they have-
stages.
They have different types of stages. I think they try not to do the same gimmick twice, and that's what keeps the game
Yeah.
fresh. Or
Okay.
more than twice.
I was
Yeah, I was
just-
gonna say
There's
like-
there are bonus
they
stages
do it
that are
maybe like 2 or 3
stages that you've
times.
played
But
in
that's
the
it.
past.
It was
but,
like you were talking about like precise like jumps and movement and stuff, and I was thinking like, can I? Are all the stages like that
No.
though? Because that sounds awful.
Well,
No, they're not. all
the
like
boulder
that.
stage is interesting because it makes you feel like there's a lot of
Like
there's a lot of tension in the air of like trying to like keep track of the boulder, and you gotta all the jumps are actually pretty easy to make.
Yeah.
Actually, they're very incredibly easy because you're not going to be walking in that segment. So the whole thing is really just following the trail of apples, and
Yeah.
it really relays
If-
a sense of tension while you're playing it.
if
Yeah.
that's
So-
if that's not the status quo, then like that sounds a lot more fun. But if the whole game was
Mhm.
like that,
the
I would
boulder
be like-
levels were awesome. They were
I didn't play
fantastic.
them.
Mm.
They just
They-
looked weird to
They're
me.
pretty good.
They were
I can agree with that.
they gave you a lot of tension, and that's one of those set pieces
Yeah.
stages. They have a few set pieces stages like the Hog Wild. Hog Wild stage where you have to avoid the spikes and the tribesmen who are trying to block you with their shields.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and the music
All
is
right.
awesome.
Well, I'm gonna go
So-
to my next question real quick.
Do it.
Qualcomm,
Husky,
though.
this one's gonna start for no. Don't worry. You're gonna be able to talk about Qualicon with this question.
I dare you.
This question is: how are boss fights in the game? And you can use Qualicon as an
answering first?
example. Yeah, you're answering first.
All right.
I guess you can
so-
use Qualicon as an example if you want, because you can talk about the characterizations of the bosses as well and how they may incorporate into the fight. So that kind of thing.
I think there's a big difference between Mario and Crash in this. And that
Very different
Crash-
approaches to bosses.
Crash is very squishy. His only buffer for health is when he gets the
Aku Aku.
masks, and they're like booga booga. It's great.
Aku Aku.
Great.
They're
It's
pretty
So
cool.
unorthodox.
I love
Really?
Aku Aku.
How you can't say this is a video game?
Okay, look.
Unorthodox.
Okay, look. Sly had the same idea
We're not talking
for
about
a
Sly
health
Cooper on the
system.
We're not talking about Sly Cooper. That's a bad game.
Gex
Come
versus
again?
Sly Cooper.
Come again? Did you just say Sly
Smack.
Cooper was bad?
I never actually played it.
I was like, those games were amazing.
I didn't really enjoy it when I played it, but if
Oh,
you
dude,
did,
I
if
love
you-
the
if
first
you did, That's
game.
great.
Oh,
It sounds like
dude.
a cool idea, like stealth in a 3D platform.
Sly Cooper's such a good
I don't know.
game. Oh man, the first and second one. The third one I'm not going to defend, but the first and second one I would.
But yeah.
Sorry.
Anyways,
Anyways.
Getting
Yeah,
back
sorry.
to my game.
the boss fights in that game, they really punish you if you
Suck.
aren't precise. And like I said, it goes back to precision.
Okay.
And in a really fast-paced game, and they can kill you really fast. Let's see, this game it's different from Mario 64 in that it requires you to almost memorize a way the boss moves. It's like Dark Souls. It's like the Dark Souls of platformers.
Talking about Hollow Knight?
Yeah. But it's interesting because like when you're playing Ripperoo, he has it's this crazy kangaroo that's in a straitjacket that laughs. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
He jumps across these these slabs that are in this river, and you have to this TNT comes floating down the river, this TNT box, and you have to jump on them. And they have a 3-second timer, and you have to time it to where it goes to where he's gonna be jumping. So you have stuff like that, and then you have like Koala Kong who's throwing rocks at you. You got to dodge the rocks as TNT's falling from the ceiling, and it automatically starts detonating. So like you have to make sure you're not blown up by the TNT, but you also don't get hit by Koala Kong's boulders, and then you hit Koala Kong's boulders back at him once he throws a certain one. You got to make sure it doesn't hit the cart. Boss fights get a little bit harder later on.
Okay.
But and also the character of each of these bosses is just like, I think the theme for the original Crash Bandicoot is insanity. Cause like, and somebody said like, this is insanity.
It's insane. Like the Insane Trilogy. Sorry. Okay, continue. I'm sorry. That was pretty bad.
I'm just joking. No, I mean you have a point, because that was the whole thing. Like that's why this goes back to design. You'll see Mario's design with like a lot of circles and stuff, and it's like supposed to convey a sense of softness, and familiarity, and but like Crash's polygons are all triangles, which is meant to convey unpredictability. Literally all triangles. So
That's interesting.
I think it comes, and you'll see those triangles occurring throughout the whole thing, and it's weird, and it gives you this kind of whimsy whenever you get to each of these boxes, which is so zany and weird, and it's just cool. Like there's one scientist who drinks some chemicals and turns into Hulk. It's pretty cool.
Oh, isn't that I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah. It's not Cortex, it's his assistant.
I will say, and this is in the spirit of fairness, some boss fights, while they're cool and they have really fun design, really zany, especially some of the early ones, they're kind of easy.
Okay.
Papu Papu, he's a big chieftain.
Papu's pretty easy. That's true.
Yeah, he's pretty easy, but
he kind of just swings around the staff. And
he's easy, but he also doesn't overstay his welcome.
That's true. Okay.
It's mostly just to teach you how boss fights work, I think. And Neo, and then Cortex at the end, that just turns into a bullet hell. So.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for the answer there. That was good.
A shaky breath.
I can agree with that.
Bullet hell.
Anyway, so
Updog,
bosses, Mario 64.
Yeah, 64 bosses. How were the bosses in this game?
Most of the bosses, like the ones that I really remember, are like generally just bigger versions of enemies, but they usually have like some kind of outfit on. Like the leader of the Bomb-Oms has like a huge handlebar mustache and a crown. That's how you know he's the top bad
King
guy. King Bum. Something I appreciated out of the bosses in that game is they tested things you kind of learn from moving around in the levels. Like the Bomb-Omb boss, you kind of learn is like you kind of got to wait sometimes, and you learn kind of about your side jump, like how to use that correctly. And then with the Womp. The Thwomp.
The Womp King.
The Womp King.
Yeah.
You learned about your ground pound and kind of how to time your back jump. And all of that stuff kind of culminates in the Bowser fight. And you fight him like 3 times, and he gets harder each time. So like the bosses aren't like super difficult, but it gives you a chance to use all of your platforming skills and your like movement through the air and stuff skills on these bosses, and it makes you feel really good when you beat them. Some of them were harder than others. Like I remember the giant Boo, the Boo King.
King Boo.
Yeah, it's King Boo.
He's called the Boo King in this game. It's a different one. King Boo has a crown. This one's just a big guy. He's probably King Boo's brother now.
Yeah, he's dead.
Again.
And then King Boo came
double dead.
Reigned it.
Mario killed him.
That's why King Boo kidnaps him for Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, those bosses were like, some of them were harder than others. The Boo was really hard, but like most of them were just kind of testing you on your platforming skills. I'll be honest, I wasn't super impressed with a lot of the bosses.
Okay.
I did really like the
Sounds like that's a similar thing with both of these games.
Yeah. I did really like the mini bosses that were always like races. You would have to race enemies, like bigger enemies for different reasons.
Koopa the Quick.
Yeah, Koopa the Quick. There's like a penguin one and a Wiggler one. The fast Wiggler is horrifying. Because like Wiggler's gonna go like, they got the weird like wiggly body, but like if it's going fast, you're like, he's got like 16 legs. How am I supposed to beat him? That's the part of the game that really rewarded you for going off the beaten path and like finding new ways to ascend.
I feel like the levels and stuff is where these two games shine rather than the bosses.
That is true.
Yeah.
But yeah. I would say that the one thing that's really cool about Crash's boss fights, if you don't mind, Unless you had something.
I mind, but you can continue.
Okay, that's all I
Ooh.
need to hear.
Dadgum.
I don't care. What are you saying?
The visuals in the boss fights are, and once again, this goes back to how they designed the game. But
Yeah.
like the Cortex boss fight, like it's something that we sneeze at today in like 2018, but like or 2019.
Where am I?
Who am I?
They're on a blimp circling a flaming castle. Like it's something that was like really crazy back then. They're like, whoa, this is insane.
This is-
Yeah.
And it's
You
like
keep saying that.
It's because he's got a. It's
You keep saying that.
and I think one of the coolest things
You keep
about
using those words,
Crash.
senor. I
One of
do
the
not
coolest
think it
things-
means what you think it means.
One of the coolest things I think about Crash Bandicoot 2 is the fact that you could actually skip the final boss. Because if you'd gotten all the gems, you just save your girlfriend immediately.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, which is actually really funny.
Oh.
You literally save her and then you leave, and that's it.
that leaves me to talk about
Oh,
the bonus levels.
you know what?
Let me
You know
tell
what?
you,
Okay.
bonus levels are fun.
While we're still on bosses, real quick, I'd like to mention
Go
this.
ahead.
I think all the bosses could have been better except for Bowser. Bowser was actually really
Bowser's
good.
pretty fun.
Whenever you were trying to like get to an area you weren't supposed to be
That's
able
why they
to
had
do.
you fight him 3 times.
Yeah. And he got harder each time. Like whenever you were trying to get to an area you couldn't get to, or like an area you like wanted to be, he would laugh at you. So you can't go there. What's wrong with you? You don't have enough stars yet. And I'd be like, shut up, Bowser.
I want to go.
Like that scene where you get to the staircase and he pulls a Dio, or like you're running up the stairs and you see Princess Peach's like portrait in the background, and you're like, wow, I should really get to the top of these stairs. And the portrait like shifts slowly into Bowser's face, and he just starts laughing at you, and you're running up this like endless staircase. That's scary. I don't know where that came from or who's like.
Whose
It's
idea?
probably Miyamoto.
It was Shigeru Miyamoto.
I'm watching you, Miyamoto. But
Miyamoto-san.
also like the things that he would do in his boss fights were really cool too. Like at first, he would try to chase you around the stage, and the second time he would the second time he would start shooting at you, and the third time he would do a ground pound, and the whole stage would just tilt.
So I thought that was the second. That was the second time. The third time, pieces of the stage would go missing.
Because it made a star.
Oh yeah.
Thank you
where it
much
gets
for playing
smaller.
that game.
Thank
I
you so
hated
much
the
for
third
playing my
Bowser
game.
fight. That was hard.
I loved it.
I loved it, but it was like,
Hmm.
oh, like
It felt like a final boss.
he'd
fight.
like sprint at you, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I've
It
got.
was actually
a-
difficult compared to
So,
some of
yeah.
the other bosses.
I've got a
But yeah.
quicker question for you guys. It's a quick one.
Question the quick.
All right, so describe your plot, because there's not really a lot in either game. So describe your plot in under 10 words.
Under 10 words.
Under 10 words. I'll let you answer first, Updog. He's having to count.
Peach is missing. Gotta go get her.
Okay, cool. Husky, do you have a plot synopsis under 10 words?
Give me a second.
Okay, yeah, I feel you. He's got to get the right words.
I feel like
Crash is
while you're talking,
insane.
I'll just say it. I don't think Mario 64 had the best plot,
Yeah.
but like that's something that I really liked about Mario Galaxy was like there's like a lot of lore and like plot line in that game that's just kind
There's
of
a
off to
lot
the
of lore.
side.
I loved that about Galaxy.
That was really cool. But Mario 64 is not. It's more about the gameplay
Hmm.
and kind of making your own stories. Like there's
Okay.
a lot of side characters that talk and stuff.
Go ahead. What is your plot in under 10 words?
Crazy Bandicoot fights a scientist and saves his girlfriend.
Okay, that's wow.
Yeah.
Those are both really good plot synopses under 10 words.
Peach
Can I
is
talk
just-
about more
cool.
about the plot? Because let me tell you, it gets weird.
Does it get
Not really,
Um,
but it's kind of funny. It's kind of zany.
Does it get
Not right now.
Insane.
We're gonna jump to 2 other questions I have.
But even
Bandicoot,
that was
Okay, so what would you say, Husky? I'll let you answer this one first. What is the best stage in your game and why?
Oh God.
The best stage.
He's gonna ask
Hog
me that
Wild.
too.
Hog Wild. Hey, dude, honestly, I would accept that.
Hog
answer.
Wild.
Hog Wild.
Hog Wild is pretty good, but I wouldn't say it's the best.
It's a rough question.
I
so
can't remember all the levels.
I'm gonna ask you a somewhat different question. so
Okay,
be
thank
ready.
God, because I can't pick one stage out of all
Oh,
of Mario
oh,
64.
you're gonna have to pick a stage. It's
Ugh.
just it's gonna be a little different.
Which one's the worst?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. You're gonna have to tell me which one's worse.
I know there's probably one that's really
Yeah.
bad.
Whichever one of you comes up with an answer for the question first, I'll
Yes.
accept
Oh
it.
my lord!
Probably Rainbow Cruiser.
You think Rainbow Cruise is the worst?
Rainbow Cruise is not very good.
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't name one of the bonus stages.
All right.
Well,
so,
I mean, those are
Full levels, I guess, is what we're. Because
I think
yeah,
Rainbow-
what we're
yeah.
considering is more of a full level thing.
Rainbow Cruise is just not a fun place
the
to
best level in Crash?
I think like
It's a difficult question.
I can't remember the
kinda why I
names.
did
They
it.
all have weird
Rainbow
names.
They do
Cruise-
have very strange names. That's
okay,
true.
like Rainbow Cruise. I'll just talk about this real quick while he's
Okay,
looking this
yeah.
up.
While he looks up the name,
Rainbow Cruise, it's really hard, which is fine. Like, there's a lot of hard levels, but like, I just don't like the music and the aesthetic. Like, there's a lot of rainbows and like magic carpets and stuff, and you're up in the sky. Like, the music just is really loud, and it's hard because so you spend like a lot of time there.
okay.
And I don't know. It's a personal thing, I guess.
Yeah,
I
I
li-
understand that.
I enjoyed most of the bonus stages. Like, I liked getting all the red stars, and flying
Hmm.
around with my hat.
I think one of the cool things about 64 is whenever they came out with the, they came out with the online thing for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh my god!
I actually played that, and that was so much fun.
I can't believe you know about that.
Oh, dude, I loved that. The moment it came out, I immediately got it and played it for 3 days.
That's fantastic.
I wish Nintendo would make that an actual thing. And by the way, that doesn't count for either side.
No, but that
because
was,
it's its own entity. But that if it was against anything really that was an online platformer game, I would say that wins because it was so much fun playing with people.
that was nuts.
So, Eli, do you think you or Husky, should I say, do you think you have the answer to my
There are
question?
a lot of good levels in Crash. Insanity Beach, I thought that was one of the best intros to a 3D platformer in a while.
That was the whole island, right?
No, that was just
Or that was the first
That was just
stage.
that level.
Oh, the first stage.
It
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
introduced you to like how everything worked. Had an interesting. It didn't go easy on you either. Like towards
Yeah.
the end, like you had an option, like you could take the left way, which is like had a full pass, a few easy enemies, or you could go on the right way, tap this box, and make a bridge of boxes to have a chance to break all of those boxes to get the rewards. Because you
Okay.
get rewards in this game by breaking all the boxes,
Uh,
which is a harder task than you would think it was.
oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I really liked Insanity Beach. I thought it was a really good opener, and but I thought, you know, if there are any other level, I really like any of the castle levels.
Yeah.
They're cool. The way they have like, I remember one thing that always freaked me out as a kid is like you're on this one castle level, and like there's this arm that comes out from this hole that tries to scratch you, and you're like, ah,
Yeah.
it freaks you out a little bit. I really like there's this one level where you're like in a castle. I think it's probably Cortex's castle, and I think it's called Fumbling in the Dark.
Okay.
And it has a really interesting mechanic where like before and like he still Aku Aku still functions as a health thing,
Hmm.
like a shield. But now he also is a light in this level that like where it's pitch black dark if you don't have them. So you basically have to have them to navigate the level. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting and cool way about it because like if he goes out, then you're literally blind.
Have fun.
So
Yeah, I think it's called Fumbling in the Dark.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
thought that was an interesting level, and it's so hard to pick a level from all these because they all have
Yeah.
really cool stuff, and But
Yeah,
I
that's
think
all good.
that's what I
That's
what
all-
I'd say.
Okay.
Insanity Beach or Fumbling in the Dark or the Castle thing,
Cool.
pretty cool.
I've got one more question. This is just for fun and will not affect either of y'all's either judgment for each of your games. But just for fun, because as I said before, I kind of thought of this and was like, ooh. So how is the re-release of your game, and is it the optimal way to play it today? So I'm going to give the floor first to Updog. So for you, it'd be the DS version of 64. Is it optimal? Is it good? Explain.
I think it sucked
Okay.
because you have to play as Yoshi unless you find a hat, and then you turn into other people. That's just weird. Mario's already been weird. I don't want my Yoshi to turn into Wario because he finds a hat. That's strange and unusual.
Hmm.
And you had to play it on a D-pad, which no, no.
Hmm.
Like honestly, I would rather just play it on a 64 because I can have a bigger screen. I can use a good controller. Heck, I'd rather like play it on Dolphin or something.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
We never talked about how did we talk about how controls were how tight controls were?
Yeah, we did. I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. What about you with the Insane Trilogy?
It's literally the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Updated graphics. Yeah, play that. I mean, unless you really want to play the PS1, there might be like small differences that I haven't heard about, but like I think it's pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
So just
You can't find the gun in the new version.
just don't
You know, the gun.
the gun on the side of
It's hidden.
highly in plateau.
Yeah.
Plateau, the gun.
It's
Wait,
out
what?
there.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Like, is that like an actual joke
Okay,
that people make?
we got
Is
5
that there's
minutes.
a
No,
gun?
there's a gun on the plateau in Breath of the Wild. You gotta go find it.
Just 5
Go
minutes.
get it.
Okay. That's like
yeah.
saying I can bring the one-hit obliterator
Closing arguments
outside
now?
of the
Let's do it real
plateau.
quick. Closing arguments.
You go first.
closing
I did my
arguments.
opening argument first, so
Okay. I really like Mario 64. It's got like a really fun hub world, and all the levels are so strange and different. They have their own little quirks. You really have no idea where you're going to end up next. Moving around feels really fun, which makes exploration even more fun. It's just a good gameplay loop. You can beat the game with 70 stars, but there's like 150, which means the game encourages you to like keep playing even after you win. Crash Bandicoot sounds like a lot of fun. I never played it though. I guess I know like the original PlayStation 1 controller had like a D-pad. I don't like playing games on a D-pad, especially 3D
that's fine.
ones.
You can play with the DualShock.
Yeah.
But I'll stop.
From what I've heard, like also there's a lot of really hard levels, but they're hard because like you got to make really precise jumps, and I'm not super good at that, so I probably wouldn't like it. I much prefer being able to like have a ton more options and have a bunch of things I can do to get around certain obstacles, finding different ways to win. But I think both games are interesting looks at ways 3D platforming kind of came about. Although I will say that Mario 64, I think, was the more popular of the two, at least in shaping 3D platforming. That's all I gotta say. It's my closing argument.
Okay. Well, go ahead then.
My closing argument. Crash Bandicoot is really just a fantastic game that comes together to form a really cohesive and awesome design that it encourages just precise controlling, as you say, and that might not be popular with everybody. But for that game, it works really well. The design, it looks so aesthetically good for its time too, and it's just a masterwork to gaming and a testament of what the good developers can do with limited resources.
Especially in considering developers today and
Yes.
how they have unlimited resources and still can't make a good game.
Sorry.
I mean, that's true though.
I'm coming down from this mountain. Mountain Dew one.
Coming down from the mountain
I would
of
say
dew.
compared to Mario, I love both games, but I think Crash has the edge in tight controls, even with the D-pad, because I think a lot of times when you're in the open world stuff of Super Mario, it works really well, especially in the hub world. The hub world is fantastic. I'm not going to argue that, but when you get in the tighter platforming levels, occasionally the movement will get a little bit wonky. Like he'll do a quarter circle when he turns around instead of just turning around, and it can mess you up and kind of it can kill you a lot of times. I feel like the tightness in controls and deliberate movement in Crash, it works with the levels that he's put in. Sometimes with Super Mario, the themes kind of show that it's kind of a little bit more experimental. And I feel like altogether, Crash is a tighter game. Now, I will say that the Super Mario thing was mastered as time went on, and Odyssey, I think, is a perfected version of 64. If I'm going to be honest, in a lot of ways, it may not. It brings a lot of the elements.
That's more like a.
I like how it doesn't kick you out of the world whenever you get a moon.
It kind of just took lives out of the equation in that game. Like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So that's my summation. That's my thoughts on the matter.
All right. Those are some really good closing arguments. And wow, this was a lot rougher than I thought it would be. I'll be honest.
They're both good games.
They're both amazing games, actually. And in all honesty, I would love Crash already has a remake. I'd love for 64 to get a remake as well.
The winner is Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, the winner is actually Sly Cooper, because y'all both hated on it. But in actuality, the winner here is Sony. I'm going with Crash Bandicoot.
What?
I know I'm gonna be honest. I came in this room and expected to pick 64.
That's crazy.
I seriously 100% expected to pick 64. But what? he just explained everything so well.
Oh my god!
the way
so
that
you're
he
saying
went-
it's me? It's my personal, my way of talking and explaining.
No,
things.
it was just like he had so much detail in it. And he had,
Okay,
like,
we're out of
the
time.
way that
We're
he
out of time.
explained it
You
was
guys have
just
been
so
listening to
good.
Doghouse on the radio. Be sure to tune in next
What
week
a
at
dumpster
2.
fire!
Listen, Doghouse.
Garbage. This is garbage.
I know that's.
All right.
I know it's crazy. Let me explain some more for our YouTube
That's
audience.
insane.
Let
you,
me explain. Okay,
you brainwashed him. You kept using you activated
Okay,
his brainwashing.
so here's
by
the-
saying insane.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Oh my
so,
god.
So here's kind of how it went.
How much did you bribe him
So
for when I left the room?
listen, because the
Give him a
thing
bunch
is,
of
it
mangoes.
really boils down to how I ran the show. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest. And so that is kind of how it went. So here's the thing: if we had went the regular way of me not asking questions, but you guys just having arguments, I feel like 64 would have won. But because both of you said just to ask questions, I developed these questions, and I feel like he did a better job answering them with his game.
So you're saying it comes down to me personally, is what you
No,
didn't
it's not.
enjoy.
It's not a you personally thing.
That's exactly what you said.
No, it's the fact of it's like
Oh my god.
Mario 64 had a lot of, and it wasn't
What?
you. It was a great example here.
I wish you were good at explaining things and
Okay,
answering questions.
Well, let me do it then. So the development cycle question was a great example. He had a lot of insight on that.
Oh
And
my
you had an art
God.
book, and that's cool, but like that was kind of the only thing that stuck out to me at this point. And so to me, that he had that one. And then
Wow.
whenever we went to the best stage in the game and the worst stage in the game, you said that it was a personal bias thing for you, that it was Rainbow Cruise.
That means all the stages must be really good.
And that is true.
You know what? Kingdom
and so
Hearts
that's why
loses.
I think and
Monster
that's why
Hunter's
that
the
one was
winner.
Even.
You did
Hold
it,
on,
Eli.
Hold on. And that's why that
You
one
won
wasn't
two-
even.
You won
for
2
both
games
of
in
you.
one swoop.
And then whenever it came to how does the character control, you did a better job explaining it. And so I gave you that one.
Why did you ask me which stage is the worst? That makes me bring up a point against myself.
No, but that's the point. I wanted you to see
What?
where the flaw was in the game because in 64, everyone considers it a cult classic and doesn't see the flaws.
It's not a cult
You see-
classic. It's a classic.
It's a classic in general. I'm sorry.
Why would I bring
But-
up a point against myself?
Listen, I need you to see that even classics have flaws, and then you even said it yourself right now.
So
That
you
all
were
the
trying,
stages
you
were
were
really
trying to
good.
You were
teach him.
trying to teach me something?
Yeah, I was. Anyways,
What's wrong
So-
with you? Are you
So
crazy?
so the best and worst stage one
Oh
is
my
moot.
god.
is moot. Neither one of you got a point on that one.
Hold on.
And so-
let me understand.
Anyways,
let me
Let
understand.
me finish my freaking example.
Why did you bring it up if it didn't mean anything?
Because I have 2 questions that were just for fun. It was those 2 and how the re-release was. Anyways, when it
Oh.
came to boss fights, he had a better explanation for the boss fights and how they
Oh,
worked in
boy.
his game. And then whenever it was describe the plot in under 10 words, that was also kind of a for fun one. So whenever it came down to the questions that mattered, there were 3 questions that mattered. You got 1 of them and he got 2 of them.
So let me try to understand this real quick.
Okay.
You're doing this thing. You're
Okay.
judging between the 2 games, and you're like, you know what? Logan seems a little bit on his high horse today.
That's not at all what I said.
Logan's got a game that a lot of people like. I'm not
That's
sure
not,
that's.
oh my gosh.
I'm not sure.
this
if-
is
I'm not
not-
sure if that's.
This is not
I'm
because
not quite sure if that's fair.
this is not
I
because
think
you
Logan's
got
a little
64.
bit too big for his britches.
This is not because you got 64.
You know what?
It is simply because of how the fight went.
Well, you know what? Thank you, Bryant, because no matter who won or lost today, I learned something very important. I haven't won a single one against you.
Gosh. No, you've won a few.
I have not won one against Eli. Is what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying.
have. Yeah, we're ending it right now.
Yeah.
We're about to end it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just on YouTube right now. But like, no, like you've won one before against Eli. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh snap!
What a joke.
What have all the dogfights even been? Now I'm trying to remember. That gum.
Are you trying to teach me a lesson, or are you actually asking the
Okay,
question?
I'm about to leave. You're obviously getting a
What
little
did we?
tilted.
I feel like you did
Oh
win
my
one
goodness.
against me.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I know you won one against him.
No, wait. You've lost every single one against
Yeah.
me.
Has he?
Yeah, the 3 we've done. Let's see. It was
Am I
this one.
detecting a bias?
It was
There's
Star
not a
Fox. It was
bias.
it was F-Zero versus Punch Out. Which one should come back?
Yeah.
You said F-Zero.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
There was Silent Hill versus
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
I think that was the first one.
Yeah, that was the very first one.
Yeah.
Have there only been 2 dogfights against you two?
No.
This is the third one, I think.
Yeah.
This should be the 3rd or the 4th.
Remember we did the Smash thing?
The ballot.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
you
we're-
won the ballot.
We did the
You won the
tier-
ballot against all 3 of us.
We did the tier list twice. So,
Mm.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah,
I
Well-
really like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. I guess
yeah.
I think we in
Super
both our
Mario
arguments.
Super Mario is probably the
And
better game.
you have to realize, no, this is such a hard.
there were things
This was
I
a hard
actually,
decision for me because
we
I
got
love
into it-
both. I say I love both. I love 64. I don't really care for Crash.
I had things that I
But-
actually could say against Super Mario, but we were keeping it civil, so I elected not to. But
That's the thing. I think we both did a pretty good job of like
Keeping it
I
fair
explained
for
like
both.
I explained
So-
like, like, oh, there are these 2 things I don't really like, but that's kind of personal preference.
Yeah. All right. Well, we need to sign off so we can let Josh have his
Jesus
show.
Christ.
yeah,
Uh,
you
You
guys
want-
have been listening to
Yeah.
the Doghouse. Be sure to tune in 2 p.m. on Fridays, 2 to 4.
Next
Uh,
week's dogfight. Do we want to tease it?
Tune in next week where you see
Are we
Brian.
doing that one? Yeah, we're doing your guys', and then
Oh,
we're doing ours
okay,
for the
cool.
final episode.
Tune in next week where I attempt to get my revenge and Bryant desperately
Clings to hope.
clings to getting his credibility back before the final dogfight.
Wait, how am I going to get my credibility back when I'm going against you?
That's the question.
Eli.
You know
please
what you
pick
have-
him to win.
you know what
please
you
pick
have
him to win.
You know what you
the-
have to do.
What's the dogfight?
What do I have to do? Shovel Knight is an amazing game, and here's why. You see here, Shovel Knight.
Don't patronize me, Bryant!
Persona 5 is an amazing game, and here's why.
I said don't patronize me. No. I guess I need to work on my explanations.
I just came up. I
don't
just made
even feel
bullet
like it was-
points.
I think it really was that he had
Oh
more
my God.
information with it too, possibly.
I
definitely-
could rip Crash Bandicoot apart, but I didn't because I was trying to
Arguing.
You definitely
I was
were.
trying to
You were
win an
definitely
argument.
very passionate
Hey,
about.
both of you are going to
Crash
Shazam tonight
Bandicoot.
too, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all
Yeah.
better go to the student services then.
What
and
time
see
is
if
it?
Carrie's there. It's at 8:50.
Okay.
$5 for a ticket. You have to pay cash.
All
Anyways,
right.
I gotta go.
Oh,
All right, see ya.
Peace, guys.
You guys have been listening
Alright.
to the Doghouse.
You've been listening to the Doghouse Dumpster Fire Hour.
Crash Bandicoot win.
Crash Bandicoot 1. That's amazing. I don't know how that happened. I'm still reeling.
You still won. You still won a few dogfights though.
I don't think Bryant has beaten me. Has he?
Yeah, I have.
Fire Which- Emblem
versus Pokemon, dude.
Oh yeah, you won the first
'Cause
one.
you had to win. You didn't like Pokemon though.
I hate Pokemon.
Ooh, all right.
were the other two?
Be sure to tune in tomorrow for Hair of the Dog. We actually have a lot to
beat
talk
me
about
Shovel
in Hair of the Dog.
Huh?
me with Shovel Knight.
I beat you with Shovel Knight. and
11 a.m.
I think I beat
Hair
you
of the
with,
Dog tomorrow. Tune in.
something else. Bubsy 3D.
And the next week, Doghouse, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is all Central Standard Time. You guys have been listening to the Doghouse with your hosts, Husky, Dingo, and Updog.
I'm sad.
We'll see you next week.